What is up, my friends? We are live with another match day. The Rads back. Reds. We're all back at Molineux. Let's just start that again. What is up, my friends? You're very welcome on to tonight's watch along. The Reds, definitely the Reds, are on their way back to Molineux for another tie. This time, it's the FA Cup. Let's all pretend that the idiot didn't come on here and get the intro completely wrong. You are very welcome along as always, my friends. Team news has just dropped. Let's talk about it. We'll get into it. Right, let's have a couple of super chats first. Looking forward to seeing Alonso come on the pool, said Derek. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you. And yeah, I wouldn't say no, mate. I wouldn't say no. Evening, Craig. Hoping for a better performance tonight. Yes, look, better performance, better result. And our place booked into the next round of the FA Cup. The team news is in. The team you can see on the screen there is confirmed. It is Alisson Becker in goal. We believe it's going to be Curtis Jones at right back, Andy Robertson at left back, Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk are your centre-backs today. Midfield of Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. With Rio Ingamoa on the left, Cody Gakpo through the centre and Mohamed Salah on the right. The bench today for the Reds is Mamardashvili, Kanade, Kirkes, Wirtz, Chiesa, Ekitike, Frimpong, Nioni and Kieran Morrison. So that is the Reds bench. Dark Ruby said, if we lose this, would it mean Slot will be in trouble? Honestly, my understanding is that there isn't really much to expect between now and the end of the season with regards to the manager, Dark Ruby. Firstly, I want to thank you for 23 months with us as a member. Really do appreciate that. But look, I don't know, is the honest answer, exactly how bad it would have to get for them to act before the summer. We told you our understanding is that in the summer there will be a change. But between now and then, I don't know. I don't know how bad it would have to get, how bad things would have to seem before they'd make that change, but I'm certainly not going to be expecting it. I'm just going to grit my teeth, hope we can get through to the summer, confirm our place in the Champions League and see what happens. Now, Peter Crouch, he said that he doesn't think Arne should be sacked. I would strongly disagree with Crouchy. Look, I love Crouchy to bits, but I'd strongly disagree with him on this one. I'd even disagree with the premise being that, you know, Kloppo had some poor seasons, but he isn't Kloppo. That's the thing I keep trying to say. People had a lot more understanding of the situation with Jurgen because, well, he helped build the club back up. He delivered us silverware after a huge fight to get there. He got us over the line for the first league title. He left the squad that Arne inherited. So I just don't like the comparisons. Everybody will always have a lot more good grace and time for Jurgen because, well, it wasn't like it is now when Jurgen was here. He didn't have £450 million to spend on new players. So I don't like those comparisons. But like everybody else, I'm sure Peter Crouchy is entitled to his own opinion. Right, our bench, please. I've already gone through it, my man, but happy to do it again for you. It is Mamardashvili, Kanade, Kirkes, Wirtz, Chiesa, Ekitike, Frimpong, Nioni and Young Morrison. That is the bench for the Reds today. The Wolves team news has just dropped as well. Let me have a quick look at this one for you. So Sam Johnston in goal for Wolves tonight. Then it's Mosquera, Bueno and Gomes making up their back three. Tachachua, Gomes, Belgarda, Gomez and Bueno in midfield with Mateus Mane and Arakader up top. Arakader, of course, the guy who was throwing Virgil around like a ragdoll in the last game. So hopefully Virgil can handle that physicality a little bit better today. Should have put Georgie in goal. Yeah, for me, look, I don't understand a couple of things. One, I don't understand why my wife just left the door wide open when she walked into the room, so all the heat could get out. And I also don't understand the situation with Georgie and Alisson, like you've said. If we're not going to get a look at Alisson in the FA Cup, or Georgie, excuse me, in the FA Cup, when are we going to get a look at Georgie? How are we supposed to know if he's good enough longer term or not? This proves Slot will not drop Gakpo for a game. See, look, I'm on board with anybody calling out players for not playing well. But looking at the options we have up top, I can kind of understand them wanting to give Ekitike a bit of a breather. We've got a huge game on Tuesday as well in the Champions League. And I'm not saying he's made the right decision tonight. All I'm trying to say is I can understand why Ekitike maybe can't play another game. The last thing we can afford is an injury to our centre forward, the only fit centre forward we have available. So my best guess at this, and it is a guess, is that Arne thinks maybe we can win this game a little bit later if needs be. It could go the whole 120 plus penalties. So yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Like for me, would I have played Gakpo through the middle? No, I wouldn't have. But I'm just trying to, I guess, look at all sides of it. Craig, is Rio scoring? I hope so. I hope so, Emil. It'd be lovely to see him get on the score sheet tonight. Look, we get a chance to have a proper look at him. That's one good thing about this. And again, with good players around him. So we got to look at Rio starting with, what will be fairly close to Liverpool's first team. If we lose this, slot needs to go. Look, I'm with you. You know my take on the manager, but I just don't want people setting themselves up for more frustration. In my head, and anyway, and look, maybe this is a coping mechanism, but in my head, I'm just trying to get through to the summer. And sorry, I've got something in my pocket here. Trying to get through to the summer and then see where we go from there. Craig, don't you think Gakpo hates going too far on socials? Yes, of course. I've said the same multiple times. People take things too far. What we do on this channel is we're outspoken, but we don't take things away from football. We don't go over the top. I give my opinion. If I think a player stunk to gaff up, I'll say it. I'll back it up with why. But we don't take it onto social media. We don't take it onto, trying to pile on to a player. I have my say, and after that, I leave it to everybody else. But I agree. I don't like it. I don't like the way modern football has gone that way. If you're not happy with a player's performance, critique them. They're there to be critiqued. That's your job as a fan. But to hate on them in the way some people are, it's bordering on the criminal, quite frankly. If you want to say a player's not good enough, that's your right to do it. But nobody should be putting hate on anybody. Other than maybe Romano. It probably deserves a little bit of it, to be honest, because he is a slimy fuck. And I've been saying it for years. I don't know if you guys read the article. We put it into the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. A very good article as well about the situation with Romano and what he is. And I've been saying this for years to people. I don't understand what good he brings to the footballing world. He is, he's somebody I've absolutely zero time for. And I was really happy to see that Sporting Intel article earlier on. I really think Mo and Cody should have been left out. I guess the options are, who do we go with, right? Truly, I was trying to think about this myself. I don't think you could really change the three of them across the front. I think maybe we have scope for two changes at a push. If Wirtz was available, this would have been a different conversation. But I'm not saying he's made the right decision, but I can understand why he's trying to rest Hugo Ekitike. I do understand the thought process there with Galatasaray coming up on Tuesday and him being our only real fit and available centre forward. Craig, is it true George Mamardashvili wants to leave Liverpool or not? I don't know, is the honest answer. I've seen the same articles that you've seen, Joe, which is, suggesting he's not happy with the opportunities he's been getting. But the truth is, mate, I don't know what's going on with Georgie Mamardashvili. I'll be a liar if I told you I knew the ins and outs of it. Stevie boy, how are we, dude? Said, any chance our captain gets a rest? How long before he breaks down? Oh, mate, I hear where you're coming from. And this is something I do have genuine sympathy with Arnaud on. I really do. I'll moan at him about a lot of stuff, but the opportunities and the options to change centre-back are slim to none. So, we had the headache. You play Gomez, and if you play Gomez, you're screwed at right back. So what do? Can't overplay Frimpong. So, yeah, it's a really difficult one. And you're right. We are one headache away from catastrophe. If Virgil picked up an injury that, was any length of time, we'd be even in trouble. Yeah, so I agree, mate. We're walking a tightrope. Why not try Salah in the middle? Lost speed, but still could tap in Chiesa or Frimpong on the right. It's a good show. And dare I say, a few people over the years have suggested maybe give him a run through the middle. And I wouldn't be against it either. I'm with you. I think Mo could do a job centrally now. I guess maybe he thinks Cody Gakpo's a bit better suited to the physicality perhaps through the centre, or to be a bit more of an occupying force for the Wolves centre-backs. But again, you're speaking sense and you're asking questions that I think many of us have asked for years. But you and I, unfortunately, can't make these decisions. But I'm with you. I wouldn't mind seeing it for the middle at all. What are the subs? Do the people who come on to take the place of the people who are tired or maybe not performing? Always happy to help out. The subs, no problem. It's Mamardashvili, Kanade, Kirkes, Virts, Chiesa, Ekatike, Frimpong, Leone, Morrison. So once again, it's Mamardashvili, Kanade, Kirkes, Virts, who's only able to play a few minutes, Chiesa, Ekatike, Frimpong, Leone, and Morrison. Apologies for my snotty, sarcastic self there, but, you know, low-hanging fruit and all that. Chasen Vlog said, it's dumb Mamardashvili is on the bench again. Yeah, it really feels like tonight would have been a good chance to play him. Because, you know, Alisson's had, I don't want to say mistakes in him, but he's certainly not looked as assured as he has done. We did a piece the other day talking about his save percentage actually being down this year and lower than the Premier League average as well, which is unusual. I think it's the lowest save percentage Alisson's had during his 7 or 8 years at the club. So yeah, I wouldn't have minded seeing Georgi Mamardashvili get an opportunity today, but you know, if there's one thing I think we've learned about this manager chasing vlogs is that he alienates quite a few in the squad. I'd rather see Wirtz come back for Champions League or Spurs. Well, I think it's, how do I say this? It's an in case of emergency break glass situation there, I think, Keith. Like your good self, mate, I'd like to see him fully recovered and ready for Gala on Tuesday. But like, hopefully we won't need to bring him off the bench today. Like I said, it seems like it's if we're really up shit creek, then maybe we make that change. What happened to Wirtz? He hurt his back. He hurt a muscle in his back when he was warming up ahead of, I want to say it was the Forest game, if my memory's right. Slot not letting Mamardashvili start cup games just shows how bad he is at squad management. Yes, and I was looking at this before, like, I was looking at the precedent for Alisson playing in the FA Cup. Now, I'm open to being corrected on this one, but I think Alisson's only played 9 or 10 FA Cup games during his entire career with Liverpool. So it isn't unusual to expect or to suggest that the backup goalkeeper will get a run out. But again, you know, we're all kind of just waiting to see what Arna does these days and reacting to it and trying to survive it. Is that the right phrase? Because that's what I feel like we're doing here, trying to survive his tenure. Which Galatasaray leg is at home? The return leg, mate. The return leg. Should we get through to the next round? We have this round and the quarterfinals with the second leg at home. So that's a good thing, definitely. We go to Gala on Tuesday for a 5:45 p.m. kickoff local time here. 6:45, I think, over in Turkey. Or maybe it's 7:45. I'm not sure if they're 1 or 2 hours ahead at the minute. But yeah, we're away for the first leg, mate, with the return leg at Anfield. David said, how are you feeling for this game? Honestly, David, mate, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm not sure what to expect. Wolves made some changes. There's no Andre Gomes for them tonight. He's suspended. That's a big loss for them. There's no denying that. Or excuse me, Andre Trinidad. My apologies. Yeah, no him tonight. He's suspended. So that, you know, that's a bonus for us. But I don't know. Like, I think we go through, but I don't know whether it'll be comfortable or whether we're in for another one of these nervy nights. What I don't want is these lads to have 120 minutes in their legs. So I don't want this one going all the way through to extra time in that. I really hope we can get it sorted out inside the 90. And there is VAR tonight, by the way, for those asking. There will be VAR for tonight's game. James Hart said, hi Craig, hope all is good. Looking at Slot lately, is there any chance that he himself thinks he's not going to be Liverpool manager next year? Yes. I'm sure he's absolutely aware of that fact. See, there's one thing that struck me this year about Arna. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but when I hear him talk sometimes, and I might be interpreting this wrong, and I'm absolutely open to it, but I feel like he almost thinks he's doing us a favour being here. Like, I think he thinks the club need him more than he needs the club, if that makes any sense to you. Just some of the way I hear him talk, and I don't know if it's a language barrier thing, I don't know if it's a Dutch thing, I have no idea, but it just comes across a tad condescending and arrogant at times to me. But, you know, maybe I'm just picking up on it because I'm already frustrated with him. I would have rested VVD and played Canade and Gomez. It's a big call though, isn't it, Keith? I agree, by the way, that we need to give Virgil a rest. Stevie Boy mentioned it a few minutes ago. It's just a big call after losing. I'd love to know if the result on Tuesday altered his team selection or his look for this one. You know, if we had won that game, would he have felt maybe he had a bit more wiggle room here? Because what he doesn't want to do is lose twice in a week to Wolves, twice in 3 days to Wolves. Yeah, because that's going to land them in a lot more pressure. Right, let's get a poll going. I'm going to ask: Should Georgie have played the game? Let me ask you guys this. So, should Georgie have started? Right, should Georgie have started? I want to get your thoughts on this one. Do you think that our backup goalkeeper should have been given a nod for this game? Hoping that Newland gets a run out. Yeah, so do I. So do I, my friend. Yes, it's always a good night if Newland's getting a run out. So, yeah, I'm with you. Right, a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, don't forget to enter our giveaway if you haven't done so already. We're giving away this signed Kenny Dalglish frame shirt completely free. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in the description. It will also bring you into the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, which you will see all of our transfer gossip moving forward. We put in polls on there about subjects. We give you guys a bit of information, some shit jokes as well. But most importantly, it also has the link in there for you guys to submit your player ratings for our match reaction stuff. So if you'd like to join, just scan that QR code. I am Whedon, said nice top, Craig. Thank you. Appreciate you, mate. It's look, Liverpool have some nice gear. Some nice gear brought out with Adidas this year, and there's another drop coming next Wednesday, I believe. Some of the old retro green, black and white stuff. So I'm going to be all over that one. Also, any Canadian viewers, my chunky ass will be over in Toronto in late September, early October. I'm not sure yet if we're going to arrange a meet-up or a hello or anything like that, but yeah, we booked our flights last night for the September into October international break. We're having one last family holiday, a big family holiday with myself, Lucas, and my wife because, well, my little dude's 14 now. He's not going to want to go away with me for much longer, so we want to have one nice family trip before he gets too old and he doesn't want to be seen dead with us. Stargirl said Klopp would sometimes swap Robertson and Trent during a game, which Slot has never done. Would you do that, which we could do, excuse me, in this game? Absolutely. I mean, let me just check something here. Sorry. Yeah, so Frimpong is on the bench. Sorry, I was just double checking on that one. That is a good option to have off the bench, to be fair, Frimpong, if they're tiring. That gives us another option up top as well. Gomez playing at centre-back today. If you bring on Frimpong, you can either bring him in the full-back position or you can put him on a little bit further forward. Hugo's on the bench, Mr. Lee. Hugo is on the bench for this one. Just to confirm the Liverpool bench for you, it's Mamardashvili, Canade, Kirkes, Wirtz, Chiesa, Ekitike, Frimpong, Nioni and Morrison. That is your Liverpool bench. So yeah, nice to see you all in. Now I can say it. Your weekend has officially started, ladies and gents. I usually say that on the early news video on the Friday, but now it has started. It's the Reds in action tonight, of course. Then we've got the weekend off and we're back in action on Tuesday then over in Istanbul against Galatasaray. A midfielder and right back and a winger up front, fantastic. Welcome to life under Arna, Pascu, mate. Welcome to life under Arna slot at Liverpool. Emil said Craig's score prediction. Ooh. I think we win it 2-1, but my prediction during the week was 2-2 and it to go to penalties and Liverpool to win. So, yeah. Look, I'd love to sit here and say I think we're going to swat them aside and beat them by a half full of goals, but I don't know what to expect from Liverpool. We'll get a good indication in the first 10 or 15 minutes of whether we're up for this tonight or not. Craig, you should put your face with Soboslai's hair in your thumbnail for the next video. It'd be brilliant. You know, I'm always up for a laugh, so maybe, perhaps, you never know. The night script, how are we, my friend? Said still found a way for Salah and Gakpo, but Chiesa cannot start. Also, what the hell has he got against Georgie? So, do you know what? I'm going to slightly go against the grain a little bit in that I don't think Yates has really lit the place up when he has played. So I'm not as angry about that. Although, of course, I get where you're coming from around Salah and Gakpo. I'm just happy Rio gets a chance tonight as well. So we get a chance to see him. Sometimes in the cup games, I am a bit more mindful to look to the bench and look at the options that we have there if it isn't going our way. So I think usually in these type of games, Arna would go, let's win it late. You know, if we can't win it with the team that's out there, we'll then look to the bench. You get the likes of Ekatike, Frimpong on, maybe Big Ibu on as well. Leone's on the bench, Wirtz is on the bench only for a few minutes if we need him. So, yeah, these are the type of things that I tried to give a bit more grace to the manager in the cup on because it's about getting through the tie. It isn't so much about, you know, style in these ones. Craig, are you happy with the 11? Said Scotty Boy. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm happy with it, but I'm not. It's not a stupid 11. Like, I'm not sitting here as frustrated as I was with the Carabao Cup team that he put out. So, you know, at least I can see and sit here and think as a fan, all right, he's taking this seriously and he's put out a strong team. Because I think he has to. Like I said, I'd love to know how much maybe the result on Tuesday influenced his decision, if anything. How would you utilise Isak when he's back? So I love the idea of changing it up completely when he's back. So let's say this just for a minute. We put on Ekatike on the left, Isak through the middle, and Rio on the right. That's what I'd like to see, Keith. Something a little bit different with Wirtz then in the 10, with some of these guys given ability to float around and move, maybe change flanks on occasion as well. Yeah, I'd like to see it because I'm not going to disagree with anybody. Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah just haven't been good enough recently. They just haven't. But I'm also mindful that we don't have all that many options there. So when Isak and Ekatike are available together, I'd be mindful maybe to push one of them out to the left. Or, you know, I'd like to see him switch up systems a little bit, but, you know, the likelihood of him doing that at this point is probably slim to none. Pasky said, this is a must-win game. No recognised striker on the pitch. No right-back. Sick of these dreadful lineups. To be fair, though, in the right-back situation, let's just look at that on its own for a second. What was his real option there? Because we know it's a huge risk if he plays Frimpong. Because Frimpong played 60-65, is coming back from injury. We played 3 days ago. And then if you think about it, the other option is Gomez. But he wants to give a centre-back a rest. So he has to move Gomez into centre-back. So I do understand that he's somewhat limited to the changes that he can make. I would much prefer Jones at right back than Szoboszlai because I think we're losing a lot more in midfield with Dom not there. So I'm a bit more understanding of the defensive changes that he's made because the options just really aren't there from. And, you know, if I'm prioritising something, I'm prioritising Tuesday over this as much as I agree that we've got to win this game. Stargirl said FSG loses money the more slot stays, especially if we don't qualify for the Champions League and leave the FA Cup and Champions League. It's mad. It is. It's crazy that to me that he's still here, but you know, I can't just keep rabbiting on about it over and over again. I want him fired. I want him fired as soon as possible. And pretty much nothing he can do is going to change my mind. I've always said if he wins the Champions League, you can't fire him. I still would fire him, but you can't. I don't think it's likely to happen. It doesn't help though when you've got people like Peter Crouch, who I love, by the way. Crouch is an absolute legend. I don't like that Crouchy's coming out and trying to again compare Arna's time to Jurgen. Yes, there were seasons where Jurgen didn't have the best of seasons for whatever reasons, but he also had to build up that squad. And he had to do it with one hand tied behind his back financially at times. Arna's come in, inherited a really good squad, won the league with it, been given 450 million quid, and shit the bed. So I don't like those comparisons, and I don't think that they're a fair comparison either for Jurgen and Arna. Jurgen built up the right to have a poor season from dragging us from not obscurity, but from, you know, middling right up to the top of the table. So, yeah, I don't like the comparisons. I don't think they're a fair comparison. Man United said, what's Man United, Joe Hoji, excuse me, said, bro, what has Georgie done wrong? I can't get a start. I can't understand why any clubs have a cup keeper and don't use them. Makes no sense to me. Many of us would agree with you. Many of us. Like, there's a couple of reasons why we're disappointed that Georgie's not starting. One, we don't know whether Georgie's going to be good enough to take over from Alisson when Alisson departs. Now, Alisson's contract is technically up this summer, but Liverpool had the option to trigger another year's extension, which everybody's expecting them to do. But when are we going to get to have a proper look at Georgie? You know, this seems like a perfect opportunity to give him a run out. Alisson had a mistake in him the other day with his clearance, a rushed clearance that went into the centre of the park, and Wolves then scored a moment later. And that's not the first time he's had a couple of little mistakes creep in. So, yeah, it's just more damaging to the squad from Arne. That's all he's done. It's just alienate fans, alienate players, and play clear favourites. Craig, do you think Alonso could handle the pressure of managing Liverpool? Yes, AJ, I do. You're talking about a World Cup winner, a European Championship winner, a Champions League winner, a La Liga winner, a Bundesliga winner. I absolutely think that he can handle the pressure of coming in to Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, without a doubt, I do. Andy said, I'm relying on your watch-alongs as I refuse to watch another match while Slot's still in charge. Well, I'll do my best, Andy. I'll do my best to keep you right up to date. So for those wondering on the game tonight, there's two ways you can watch it in the UK and Ireland. It's on BBC and it's on TNT Sport. So whichever one works best for you. But of course, we hope you have Anfield Agenda on in the background. Georgie must be getting fed up with all of this, Arne, along with so many others wanting to start games, said Alan. Yep. Don't disagree with you, Alan, my friend. Do not disagree one bit. Yeah, look, this is the biggest indictment that I can give about Arne's leadership, for me personally. I used to sit and have a nervous, anxious happiness waiting for Liverpool to play. These days, I just wonder how bad it's going to be. I wonder how much I'm going to have to try and lift up the chat with some stupidity or happiness because we're frustrated and I would say pulling our hair out, but you know, I'm trying to just grin and bear the season. But if he's still manager next season, I don't know if I'll be here. I honestly don't, and I haven't even spoken to Connor about it, but I know Connor is equally as unhappy with the situation with Arne in charge. And when you're making Connor angry, I mean, that, you know, I get angry as a drop of a hat. But I've seen Connor angry maybe 3 times in the 9 years I've known him. And at least 2 of them were about Arne. So I can't bring myself psychologically to think he'll be here for another year. I have to just try to get through this season. So, Arne Slot on a pre-game on Champions League importance said, it's important, the 3 aims we have now, Champions League, FA Cup, top 5 finish. Not before the season started, but we want to be in the Champions League and it's important for this club financially. I mean, the season when I arrived, there was a reason we only signed Federico Chiesa, and that was because the season before we were in the Europa League. We know we are in a transition, and a transition works better when there is money available. We always knew the signings we made would be a big success, but we always knew it would take time. It has been shown with the games every 3 days that intensity has to be something new for a few of them. Maybe even more now we've lost. We want to make up for it. I hope all the players feel the same as me. We want to make up for the loss and the performances we had. So that in a sense is a good thing we play them again. Just fuck off, Arne. Honestly, just shut up. Everything you say just makes me want to punch the screen. Like, all that was more excuse making. More excuse making and trying to gloss over his own shitty performances as coach. I'm just, I can't listen to him anymore. Liverpool game on BBC, iPlayer and Discovery Plus. Thank you, Joe. Abdullah said, Craig, I watch a lot, but bad take on Slotstan. I don't care. It's fucking horrendous. If he's heading off to sunny climates again, mate, in the midst of a season, I don't care. It's a shit show. It was a shit show when he went away in October, and it's a shit show now. I don't care. He should be focusing all of his efforts on Liverpool figuring it out. Honestly, your slot hate is so exhausting to hear now. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you think. Remember that. Like, you're entitled to an opinion, but I don't care. I'm entitled to mine as well, and this is my channel, and I'll talk about the manager however I see fit. It's as simple as that. Nobody asked you to come in here. Nobody knocked on the door and said, mate, come and join us. And you're in the minority. So I don't care what you think. Having to listen to this fucking spoofer is doing my head in. Having to look at him belittle the club, former managers, throw young players under a bus. That is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. So you're in the minority. Don't make me do another poll on it, because fans are sick of him. And if you have any support of him left in you, best of luck to you, because I wish I had a bro. I can't stomach him. He's absolutely a spoofer. And do you know what? Normally I'd say it's not hate, but it's verging on it. It is. It's verging on hate. That's how strongly I feel. Now, I would never have said hate for anything else. There's very few things in this life I would say hate, but I'm close. Not ready for another 90 minutes of torture, said Aaron Staunton. Look, I'm just hoping it isn't one of those 90 minutes, mate. I'm hoping there's a way that we can maybe pull out a West Ham type game. You know, something that's a little bit more enjoyable to sit through and watch. You know, that 90 minutes against Wolves midweek was difficult. It was tough. And again, it was another underperforming performance that left you wondering, what was the game plan? You know, what did he come in trying to achieve? So the biggest thing about Arne that annoys me is, have you ever once heard him say what the lads have done wrong? So he talks about wanting to keep the possession. He talks about wanting to overload teams. And then he comes out and says we didn't have intensity. The only word he knows is intensity. I don't remember hearing him tactically tweak anything to say we didn't do this, this and this. I wanted them to do that, but they didn't do this. None of it. Never ever. Never remember hearing it once. Never. Not once do I remember hearing him come out and say, well, the players didn't put the effort in, or I wanted us to create overloads over here and move the ball here. No. He just keeps banging on about possession. Keeps banging on about trying to dominate teams. Don't dominate teams by moving the ball slowly. So, yeah. Maybe it's tough on some people that I speak so bluntly about it. But I'm not going to lie. There are plenty of people out there who will fluff this situation and tell you that they're relaxed and calm and happy and they'll toe the company line. I'm not one of those people. Nor will I ever be. Nor will I ever apologise for being me. Chad said, hey Craig, just got here. I'm not happy with this lineup at all. I understand some of it, Chad, mate. I do. I understand the change at the back, like I was saying. It's difficult for him only having two fit centre-backs for most of the season. And Gomez having to kind of be the cover at centre-back and right-back. So, him changing one of the centre-backs, I do truly understand. Stevie Boy also asked a good question, when will Verge get a rest? It's up the top end of the pitch that I think I'm most frustrated. Because he found a way, as people have said, to get Gakpo and Salah back in the team. And I don't know what message that's sending out. You know, there's just never any accountability. Loves having a pop at Jurgen, doesn't he? Yeah. It's like he can't read a room. Like, truly, it's like he comes in and people are like, don't mention this. And then he goes straight to it. Or nobody will ask him something and he'll bring the question to the 450 million, to not being in the Champions League one season under Klopp, and some other way to make himself sort of sound decent. So Slot can't go on holiday. No, he can't. No, simple as that. Go on holiday in the summertime when he's on holiday. He had a party at the end of the season when he won the league. Then he had a summer off, a full summer off. Then he had a little jolly up in October. So no, mate, when it's not an international break, he absolutely cannot fuck off on holiday. You're 100% right on that, yes. If it's an international break, maybe. But it isn't. And even the last international break, how did that go? We lost 3 games. He fucked off on holiday. We lost to United when he came back. So, forgive me, if I'm trying to say, focus on your work, focus on working with the coaches, focusing on figuring this shit out that you've created. So yes, he can't go on holiday. You're right. He can go on holiday when it's time to go on holiday. Didinho. Slot-Han again. Did he really go on another jolly? I actually don't know whether he did or not, Didinho, but it looks like he did. And I know people will say, oh, it's no big deal or not. It is a big deal. It's a big deal because what I want is my manager leaving no stone unturned to figure out how to stop this shit show. I want them on the training ground looking at the underage players, seeing is there anything there that can give us something new. I want them standing with his coaches, figuring out everything, trying to salvage this season. Not over in Dubai or wherever he is on a jolly up, in the middle of the fucking season. Like, this isn't a holiday time. This isn't an international break. So wherever he found his few days to piss off in the sun, sorry, there's work to be done. Man up. I would have preferred Ekitike with Rio. He's such a hard-on for Gakpo. But they bake Dutch bread and drink Dutch beers together. I don't know what to say, mate, because I get it. I get the frustration. I get the situation is what it is, but this is what we're all reduced to now. Bundles of nerves, knots in your stomach, trying to understand the decision making, and we're just going to have to try and grit our teeth and get through it and hope that we can perform well and book our place in the next round. Stargirl, how are you, my friend? Klopp assumed he was going to continue his work. Well, like you've rightly said a few times, mate, yourself, you know, what happened to the same coach that was supposed to come in and play in a similar way with a similar philosophy? Even the way he goes on about Paris Saint-Germain and their style, I love Paris Saint-Germain's style. Absolutely love it. I'd be chomping at the bit to play like that. But that's not what we're doing, nor is it Barcelona style. Whatever this is, it's dull and boring. Paddy Wacker said, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Exactly. Look, let me ask you this. Would you have gone on holiday if your job was on the line and your situation was like this? I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night, let alone go on holiday, if I'd overseen a tenure like this. How's you and the family? You're on song tonight. Keep up the amazing work. Slot out now, said Carl. I'm good, dude. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Happy year and a half anniversary with us. Like I told you guys the other day, I'm back. I'm me. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling myself, and I'm not putting up with any idiots. Just simple as that. Everybody's entitled to their say, absolutely, just as I'm entitled to mine. And yeah, Arne Slot for me is a big part of our underperforming season. Happy Friday from Sully, California. Oh, mate, it's starting to get a little bit warmer over here. You know, the weather's changing a bit. Spring's finally starting to come in, but it's been a long winter, dude. It's been a long winter, so I can't wait for some warmer weather. And very jealous of you over in California. So sending you love, my friend, and thank you for being 2 months with us, Mackie, as well. Or 2 years, my apologies, sir. Mark, how are we, bro? Said, Slot has lost the players and he's a total spoofer and isn't worthy of our great club. He's got more excuses than answers, though. Enough is enough. As Del Boy would say, he's got more front than Brighton. Hey, Craig, how are you? I don't think we will sack him in the summer. Who do you think will sign in the summer, and do you think Virgil and Ibu leave? So I absolutely think he's gone in the summer, Tracy. There's more and more of a belief behind the scenes and in these circles that he's gone. We did a piece earlier on from, I think it was Team Talk, we were talking about the fact that they've identified that Alonso is the one that they want to bring in. So we wait and see what happens there. What do I think on Virgil, Mo and Ibu leaving? I don't think Virgil's going anywhere. In fact, I would say the club should be looking to give him another year extension. And honestly, Ibu, yeah, again, today there was some more links with him away, but there was also some positivity about the idea of him saying so. On that one, I'm not really sure what to think. I kind of go back and forth with it a bit, Tracy. Like, I'd love Ibu to stay. Um, and if he doesn't stay, we do need to bring in somebody of a similar experience level. On top of Jeremy Jacquet, obviously we have Giovanni Leone coming back. So that one's a tough one. On Mo, I think at the minute it's trending towards Salah leaving. But I do wonder, and again, this is just me talking out loud, I wonder would a potential new coach give Mo a fresh impetus, a fresh view, a bit of excitement? And I don't know, because I don't know Mohamed Salah, so it's hard to guess from the outside. Connor said, I'd rather risk a Gakpo injury than an Ekitike injury tonight all the same. We should be beating Wolves either way. Yeah, look, I understand, as Connor said as well, like looking to the bench, there is some good options there from the bench for us tonight to change it up if he wants to. In an ideal world, you win it, early on and, you go a couple of goals ahead and you manage the game out. But if he does need to look to the bench, yeah, you've got your Ekitikes there. You've got a few minutes that you can get out of Verts on the push. Canade on the bench. So let's wait and see. But hopefully, we all just want to see Liverpool playing better. And that's the aim for all of us here, is that we put in a better performance than we've seen on Tuesday. Cal said, I find it strange that Arna and Hughes are supposedly best mates when Arna continuously sticks the knife into his squad depth. Doesn't make sense. I get very confused by some of the things he says. So, 1 minute he understands this is the way of the club. 1 minute he wants a small squad. Then he bemoans a small squad. Then he talks about needing squad depth. It's just, I think he has a bag full of excuses and he rumbles around in it and sees which one fits the situation and just pulls it out. That's the way I see it. But Hughes and Edwards aren't free of criticism either. I absolutely think we should be hearing a lot more from Richard Hughes. I think he definitely should be speaking a bit more to the recruitment, to the issues around the recruitment. Yeah, so I don't disagree that there is more blame to go around. But like I said, he's been given more money than I've ever seen a Liverpool manager given. He's broken the British transfer record twice and bemoans the players or the amount of them. I just don't get it. And then there's players in the squad that we know he doesn't rate, doesn't want there, like Chiesa. But that's just 7 million quid a year wasted. Sounds like Slotter's written off this season, hence the holiday and the reason why he's so casual with everything, said Stargirl. Yeah. Yeah. So, look, hopefully throughout the 90 we've got something fun to talk about and something to enjoy, because ultimately that's what we're here tonight for, is to hopefully see the Reds book the pathway through. Right, so we asked you guys, should Georgie have started? 84% of you guys and girls said yes, you do think Mr. Mamardashvili should have started. What's up, Mr. Craig? Sweating over here in Texas. How are you? I'm a little bit sad that I'll probably never get to visit your great state, honestly, because it was outside of Florida. It was on my bucket list for America, and it would have been my next trip to America if that Boston situation hadn't happened. So, yeah, I'm jealous of you being over in Texas. I'm definitely jealous of the weather, dude. But sending you love and thank you for being here with us. So, I need a favour, ladies and gents. If you can hit that like button for me, please do. We have about 15 minutes to go tonight till kickoff. And welcome into all of you. Look, if there's one thing I hope you understand here tonight, folks, is if we do disagree, that's fine. We can disagree civilly. We can disagree in a respectful way. Don't ever think that you can't disagree with me. You absolutely can. But if you are, I'd like to always try to back up your opinion so we can have a proper chat about it. Chad said they threw away an incredible opportunity to gain on Villa and United. All they had to do was beat the last place club, get knocked out of the FA against the same team, will be rock bottom. I hope we don't have to talk about getting knocked out. Yeah. Look, we've got to give Wolves some credit as well for Tuesday. They dug in, they made it hard, they got the job done. So credit to Rob Edwards and Wolves for that one. But you're right. We missed an opportunity there. And we got lucky in that Villa lost and Manchester United lost. So the damage wasn't too bad. Chelsea obviously back ahead of us now in goal difference. But, we've got, I dare say, we've got, 9 league games left. If we win 7 of them, we'll be in the Champions League. I feel very comfortable about that. Craig, do we need to sign more experienced players who are leaders like Hendo was sort of Klopp's voice on the pitch? There is definitely a concern in my mind about the transition to the next group. So you've got right now, let's say you've got Maka. He'd be in his prime but experienced. Soboslai in his prime but experienced. Then you've got a lot of younger players through. So we do need to balance that experience and leadership, all right. We're going to lose some huge players over the next couple of years. Your Mohamed Salahs, your Alisson Beckers, your Virgils, your Andy Robertsons, real leaders, real focal points of our success in recent years. So definitely worth keeping an eye on, Antonio, without a doubt, my friend. There he is. How are we, Brian? Lovely to see you. Lovely chatting with you again last night, my man. I had a nice phone call with Brian yesterday evening. Always good to catch up. Good afternoon. Never felt so blah about a Reds match. Slot has sucked the life out of me. I get it, my man. I get it. But, let's hope that in spite of all of that, we can still have an evening to remember and something that makes us remember the season in a positive sense. Yes, Jimmy man, it is an 8 p.m. kickoff, sir. An 8 p.m. kickoff. The reason we started at 7 tonight and not 6:45 is the FA Cup team only comes out an hour before the game. In the Premier League, it's out an hour and 15, which is why we always start a little bit earlier for them. Jackie, how are you? If Xabi Alonso comes in the summer, do you think we'll end up playing 3-4-3 with Isak, Ekitike and Wirtz or Salah in the front three? I don't know if I'd expect it, Jackie, but I'd like it, and it's a possibility. From his time at Real Madrid, I think he did tweak his formation at times and did play with a back four. If I'm not mistaken, our regular viewers of Madrid might have a better understanding of that than I did. But from what I understand, he's not as diehard as Amram would have been with that system. But I still think it's his preferred system. And I think if you look at the team we have, yeah, it lends itself to that system, especially if you can bring in another centre-back or two. You've got your wing-backs that he was used to. You've got the 10 that he was used to as well at Leverkusen. So, certainly a possibility. Craig, did I hear you correctly that I got to break out the credit card for more Adidas stuff? Be well and Connor. Yes, I'll show you exactly what it is, actually. 1 second. I'll show you the gear that's coming out next Wednesday. 1 sec, here you go. Make it a bit bigger for you. So that stuff there is due to come out next Wednesday. Now, eagle-eyed viewers amongst you will notice that the one central top is a blackout version of the 1996 green and white shirt. So I've already told Connor my shopping list is item number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 5. So yeah, the top 2 and the 2 immediately below the top 2 will be where my credit cards get used. Yeah, it's incredible. That's my favourite era of Liverpool stuff, without a shadow of a doubt. And we believe that some of those are coming out next Wednesday. So keep your eye on the official club store and on Adidas. Hope all is well, Craig, from Los Angeles, California. Right back at you, bro. Am I right, by the way? Anybody with a military background in the chat? I heard something on TV the other day and I wonder, was it true? So anybody who served in any of the armed forces or anything, and by the way, thank you all for your service. Is it true that you don't salute indoors? Obviously, I'm not from a military background. I don't know anything about that, but I heard somebody say it the other day, and I wondered if it was true. But again, as I said, thank you to all of you who work as firefighters, police officers, army members. Really, you guys keep our world safe. And a shout out to teachers as well. Actually, while we're talking about it, real heroes to me. I cannot speak highly enough about the help and the progression for my own son, but thanks to some amazing teachers and special needs assistants and stuff. So yeah, love to you all, and thank you all for making the world a better place. Jim said, yes, you salute indoors. I heard on the program I was watching, maybe it was just the Marines, because it was the Marines at the time, and they said you don't salute indoors on the show. But again, like I said, it was a TV show, so I don't know. PhD would said I worked for the Ministry of Defence and hubby was a soldier and I saw plenty of salutes indoors. Chad said no saluting indoors. Now Chad, Chad worked in the. I don't want to give away too much of your life, Chad. So I'm kind of, Chad's a former first responder. There you go. I think that's okay for me to say. Craig, don't know if you'll see this, but it's a topic you've addressed on here. I'm struggling with my mental health. Any advice? Definitely have advice for you, my friend. It's gonna seem like it giving you obvious advice, but it's sincere, honest advice. Firstly, speak to somebody, whether it's a friend, a family member, a teacher. I don't know your age, don't know your background in life. Your health practitioner, your general practitioner, your doctor, because I find that talk therapy for me has been more beneficial than some of the medical routes. You usually, if you go into these type of situations, you can maybe try to be stabilized mentally with some short term medication, but the longer term, yeah, speak. Your mental health's important. You wouldn't hesitate to go to the doctor if you felt unwell, if you felt like nausea or you'd hurt your arm or something like that. Your mental health should be treated the same way. It's a huge part of what makes you work as a person. So if you're suffering, if you feel it's not where it should be, please do speak to somebody, my friend. Yeah, please do, because it's important and we want you to be healthy, safe, and be the best version of you. One player from each relegation side you would sign. Well, who's going down? Let's start. Actually, on this, on this saluting thing, I must point out that the thing that I'd seen was the US Navy. So I don't know if it's different in the British Armed Forces. I don't know if it's different elsewhere in the world. But the thing, I think it was actually Veep, if I'm not mistaken. I just remember it in my head. I think it was in Veep. She went to the Marines and they said you don't salute indoors. So anyway, Poseidon said one player from each relegated side you'd sign. Right, let's go through them. From Wolves, Matheus Mane. From Burnley, honestly, I don't know if there is one from Burnley that I'd sign, with all due respect. And then what? Who's currently... Is it West Ham or Forest that are currently in the relegation zone? I'll give you an answer from both. From West Ham, I'd love Jared Bowen, but I just don't think that would be a realistic one. So I'd probably say Fernandez, Mateus Fernandez, and then from Forest, Elliot Anderson. By the way, there was a piece today that said that it looks like Elliot Anderson is a done deal to Manchester City now. Again, it's not confirmed by the club, so take it with a pinch of salt. From Spurs, who would I take from Spurs? Van de Ven. Is there anybody else I'd take from Spurs? I mean, I think Bergval's worth a look. I think Lucas Bergval is a good footballer, and I haven't watched enough of him to make a definitive answer, but maybe Lucas Bergval. Am I right in saying that you're the GOAT amongst the Liverpool fan channels on YouTube? Mad respect for the community you've built. Look, it's not. I don't know whether we're the GOAT or not. We're the most watched Liverpool fan channel in the world. I can tell you that one. We're not the most subscribed to. Red Men have that honour. But we're the most watched and we're the most viewed month on month. So, look, I think we're the GOAT because of you guys. I think we're the GOAT because of the quality of the people in our community, not because of anything that we really do. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at kickoff, 4 minutes to go. So if you can, do hit that like button for me. We're still about 254 likes short of our pre-match 1,000 goal. 9 years infantry, no, only for ceremonies, said Joey. Thank you, Joey, and thank you for your service as well, Joey. Appreciate you. Right. Do you know what? I must actually ask my father-in-law about this because my father-in-law served in the armed forces. Right. Where are we at? What was I going to do there? Oh, yes, the 11s. There we go. The 11s. I'm going to run through the two starting 11s for you guys one more time. Start off with a home side. It's Johnston and Golden, Mascara, Bueno and Gomes. Then Tachachua, Gomes, Belgarda, a different Gomez, by the way. Then there's A. Gomez, there's J. Belgarda, there's João Gomez, Hugo Bueno, Adekader, and then Mateus Mane are the two up top for Wolves. We still need 150 likes, folks. Do hit that like button. We're 3 minutes to go. For Liverpool, it's Alisson Becker in goal. They say Szoboszlai's at right back. We don't know if it's Szoboszlai or Jones, so we're going to have to figure that one out on the hop. Then it's Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. A midfield of either Jones, Gravenberch and McAllister or Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister. Salah on the right, Engamoa on the left and Cody Gakpo through the centre. Only 84 more likes to go now. Can't believe he kept Salah and or Gakpo, said Nessie. Yeah, look, Nessie, I just hope we get the result tonight, mate. You know, I hope we perform as we know we want them to. Right, we've 65 likes to go. Craig, you're the goat of goats. Love the show. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Gonna have you on my 2.5 hour drive from Charleston to Hilton Head between stops for work up the Reds and Sackslot. Thank you, Watts. I'll do my best to keep you up to date, bro, with what's happening in the game. Don't forget as well, ladies and gentlemen, our giveaway. If you haven't already entered, still time to do so. Oh, not that one. Just scan the QR code on the screen there now, and you can enter a giveaway for that signed and framed Kenny Dalglish shirt. We gave away a signed and framed Jurgen one in February, a signed and framed Stephen Gerrard one in January, and we're going to be giving away a signed item every month throughout 2026 with thanks to our incredible friends at the collectorscorner.co.uk. And don't worry, if you can't wait and you want to treat yourself to something from the Collectors Corner, you can get 20% off with our discount code Anfield Agenda 1. And also, if you join in the WhatsApp group, you'll have the list in there to submit your player ratings for our ratings video later on. Have you seen the reports linking Klopp with Atletico? Yes, his agent has said there's nothing to it. Mark Kosiga has come out and said there's nothing to it. But I've always said to you guys, if he did go to La Liga, Atleti is the club I think he'd be most likely to go to. But again, his agent has said there's nothing to it. Tom said, his name is Rio and he dances down the wing just like a winner. I don't know how to sing the rest of it. Twisting past the centre backs. Oh, Rio, and he runs like lightning for the fans. There you go. I'm not quite in the 80s, 70s, 80s tone just yet. I'm putting it out there. Rio scoring tonight. I'm putting it out there. Right. Antonio said, Craig, big shout out for what you're doing. Feels like we've some extra company when watching the game, no matter what the haters say. You the go. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Look, I don't care what people who have nothing good to say about us say, you know, because they have no intention of being part of our community. It's the people that come in day to day, night to night, give us their time, interact with us. They're the ones we'll always do this for, and they're the ones whose opinion we care about. Right, about to get underway, folks. And here we go. We are off. Liverpool playing from left to right in the first half. Just a reminder, the Liverpool bench tonight is as follows. Mamadashvili, Kanade, Kirkes, Virt, Chiesa, Ekatike, Frimpong, Leone and Morrison. So, Virgil now in possession. It is Dominic Szoboszlai at right back. We can confirm that one. So, Szoboszlai now in possession. He goes up the line looking for Ryan Gravenberch. Salah out wide. I'm always a second ahead. Even if I delay the clock, I'm always a second ahead. There we go. Right. Going out left. I know there's a super chat there from Scratching Claimers. I'll get to it in 1 second, bro. It's clear he's lost DJs. A significant psychological impact on the team's performance. Top four is an achievement. Even Klopp would struggle. I'll give you a more in-depth answer in a second, bro. I just want to do this syncing up here. So, 1 minute and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So look, obviously the passing of Diogo Jota had a huge impact on the team, the squad. No denying that. But I don't buy the Klopp would struggle, mate. I'm sorry. Because I don't think I would struggle coaching this team with the players that he has in it. So respectfully, I would disagree with you on that one. But we're now, 9 games left in the season. We still don't look like it's clicking. But anyway, appreciate your input. And look, as I said, we don't always have to agree. Right, Wolves now on the attack right-hand side with Mateus Mane. Cross comes in deep. Szoboszlai heads it away. Ball drops edge of the box to Wolves in the second ball. Jones brings it away, though. Well done, Curtis. Clear your lines, fella. Szoboszlai. He knocks it forward, but straight to a Wolves player again. And that'll be a free kick as Grafenberg takes the Wolves player out. Referee tonight, Farah Alam, by the way. Yeah, we don't want Ryan Grafenberg picking up early yellows again. So calm it down out there, Ryan. Right, here we go. Free kick to Wolves. Left side of the outside of the 18-yard box, in front of the 18-yard box. Too far out for a shot, but certainly a good position to put a cross in here for Wolves. So Salah's had to move away to cover the wide man. In comes the cross from Wolves. Over everybody's head. And goes out on the far side near the corner flag for a Liverpool throw-in. Be nice if we can get through this tonight, sit back down, watch the rest of the FA Cup unfold this weekend. Robbo switches it up right-hand side to Szoboszlai, who has a bit more space to attack now. And he attacks that space. Gets his head up, sees the switches on. It's a good ball, switched out. Ball bounces over young Rio's head, but he manages to keep it in. Here he is now, Rio. A couple of step overs. Comes inside. Pulls the ball back, but it's behind Gakpo. It's picked up by Virgil. Crossed in then by Andy Robertson. It's overhit, unfortunately, and it goes behind. It'll be a Wolves goal kick. Tamarin, Mauritius in the house. Oh, very jealous, Tamarin. Very jealous. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate you being in. Goal kick here to Wolves, folks. There he is, Mr. Navy. Right. Looks like Wolves are going to go short with the goal kick. Pressure comes on from Gakpo. Wolves work it out right-hand side. Play around the first press. Then they go into the channel and it's over here. Wolves already shown a bit more attacking threat at the start of this one than they did in the opening exchanges in the league game on Tuesday. Liverpool, though, in possession with Alexis McAllister. Lovely ball. Lovely ball. Threaded in through left-hand side to Rio Ngamoa. Rio now goes one way, then the other. Goes round the outside, puts in a cross, goes behind, corner kick. Come on, boys. Well done, Rio. Lovely ball from Maka as well to pick him out. Right, Dom coming across to take this corner. Let's see if they put this one in on top of Sam Johnson right into that 6-yard box. Oh, come on, Joe. This is the day for Joe. Come on, Joe. Get yourself a goal. Go on, Joe. Right, corner coming in now. Liverpool with 4 players inside the Wolves 6-yard box. We go short with the corner. Gakpo, he fires it across. Oh! It's a header from Gakpo that hits the post. Offside flag was up, though. Offside flag was up, wouldn't have counted. Yeah, he was just off as well. Good spot from the assistant. Josh said Craig is spot on about slotting his bronze tan. Unless he's looking for a house away from Liverpool, he should be thinking tactics, not holiday destinations. I don't even buy into this argument, Josh, that you can work away from home with a laptop. I don't buy into that either. I think he should be with his coaches at the AXA figuring this out. But like I said, I'm old school, so maybe I'm in the wrong on this one. Robbo to Gravenberg. Back to Virgil. Robertson. McAllister. It's as we are used to now from Liverpool, just moving the ball side to side with playing it in front of those Wolves players, which makes it very, very difficult to get in behind. The switch, if we move this ball quicker, there are overloads on either side. We're just, again, taking too many touches. Virgil now in the centre circle. He goes out to Szoboszlai. Dom to Salah. Back to Dom. Again, he's almost trying to draw a player onto him to make a bit of space. Gomez now. He goes over left-hand side to Andy Robertson. Robertson to Cody Gakpo. Back out to Robbo. Rio. Virgil. This is Arna must have a semi at the minute. All this possession that we're keeping, knocking the ball around. Not doing nothing with it, but we know how much he loves to talk about possession stats, so just check and make sure he hasn't got a chub on. Right. Rio now slips it into Robbo. Ball comes off the Wolves defender and it'll be yet another Liverpool corner. And I don't mind, by the way, slow, fast when it comes to possession. I don't mind it if that's the aim. But a lot of the time it's just slow, long diagonal. If it's slow, quick and you're trying to play through the lines, fair enough. And that did end up in a slow, quick and we did take the ball, move it quickly, tried to get Robbo in and we got a corner out of it. Corner in, Maka gets across the front of the 6-yard box, tries to flick it on, but gets too much on it and it goes behind for a goal kick. Unlucky. See what he was trying to do with it. Brian said it'd be fine if things were being fixed, but they're not. Just a reminder, we do have VAR and stuff tonight, by the way, folks, in case you're joining us a bit late. Robertson now in possession. He goes back out to Rio. Rio seen a lot of the ball here early doors. Rio has a run at those Wolves players. Interception. Oh, ball breaks, and Maka hits a shot from outside the box with Sam Johnson's forced to save. He then pings it out quickly looking for, I think, young Mateus Mane on the counter, but Szoboszlai gets back and regains possession for the Reds. So excited that we're going back to Canada, by the way. Haven't been over in Canada in 20 years. We were over there for my daughter's first birthday. And we're going back over now in September for 10 days. I cannot wait to bring my son to Niagara Falls. Salah. We get really lucky as well when we go to Canada because my wife has aunts and uncles who live over there. So we always get free accommodation as well, which is great. Ball back now with Sam Johnson. We're heading towards the 10-minute mark at Molineux. Still scoreless. Virgil wins that header. It's back with Joe. Whereabouts in Canada? We're going to Toronto. Well, I say we're going to Toronto. We're staying in Mississauga, which I think, if I'm right, is about 30 minutes outside, something like that. So, as I said, it's been 20 years since we've been over, but it'd be lovely. I was able to bring my daughter to Niagara Falls on her first birthday, so it'd be nice to bring my son over there as well. My wife said, Brian, you've got to come up and join us for a few days. Not even joking. She turned around to me earlier on and said, is Brian coming up to join us in Canada for a couple of days? Gakpo to Rio. Rio now. Step over. Rio. Forced the keeper into a save. Referee keeps looking like he was expecting a flag. Gakpo. His strike is blocked. Ball in from Robertson. It's defended. Blocked again. There's a Wolves player down at the minute and the referee stops play. Brian said it's a quick trip. I'd love to. There you go. Well, Brian, we're I'll message you the hotel we're staying in at Niagara for a few days if you wanna come up, man. It'd be lovely to have you. We're up in Niagara from the 5th. No, actually, I'll send you the dates, Brian. I'll send you the dates. If Rio plays well tonight, does Arna finally put Gakpo on the bench, or is that expecting too much for Arna? Look, I think, Chad, you could make an argument for Salah or Gakpo to be on the bench if Rio does well. With Vert's coming back as well, I mean, I'd argue, mate, you could probably have both of them on the bench. Hello, Craig. Hope things have been well. All good, thank you, Lewis. Appreciate you being with us, mate, as a member for 4 months. Thank you, Lewis. Hope all's good with you and your family. Gravenberg, he's dispossessed. Wolves trying to play out. Liverpool getting bodies around to crowd them. Wolves still have it. Far right. Wolves tried to go directly into the left-hand channel, but Szoboszlai pulls across and heads the ball back to Gomez. How's my day been? It's been good, thank you, Ross. Yeah, can't really complain, bro. It's the start of the weekend, so good. My son's always happy, obviously. Gets the weekend off school. Salah now. Back to Dominic Szoboszlai. Into Maka. He's dispossessed. Ball comes back. Szoboszlai regains it. Plays it off Gomez. And then it ricochets to the Wolves centre forward. Now Wolves are on the attack. Liverpool getting bodies back. Wolves not overcommitting here, so deep cross, which Wolves will keep in on the far side of the pitch with Matheus Mane. Come on, boys. Liverpool are back in our defensive shape, so difficult for Wolves to find a way through here. We forced them backwards again. Liverpool have everybody back behind the ball now. Salah goes to press. Do you think managers listen to pundits or experts? Gerrard said Arne Slot should start Rio. Do you think Arne listens to like Gerrard? No, I don't think he listens to them. I'm sure he's aware of the comments, but I would think any manager worth their salt would have their own thoughts on what they want to do. I mean, Gerrard wasn't wrong, by the way. Rio did deserve a start, and it is good to see him get that opportunity. Wolves now. Maka comes in. I don't like that challenge for Maka, by the way. Jumped in with 2 feet. He got some of the ball, but yeah, and another day that could have gone wrong. Right, Wolves now put in a cross. Virgil heads it away inside our 6-yard box. Second ball breaks. Wolves have it now on the edge of the box with Gomez. He goes out wide right. Again, Wolves looking to find an avenue to get a cross in, but Liverpool so far getting bodies in between them. When are you going? Yeah, put on for till you go. Thank you. Liverpool clear that one. Ball now back deep inside Wolves half. Wolves trying to play their way out. Press comes on from Salah. Now it's Jones. He's on the press. Wolves moving out right hand side. Play around Liverpool's first press. Now there's a bit of space for Wolves to operate in. Still in that right hand channel. Cross goes behind, and it'll be a goal kick to Liverpool. Roger said, member 21 months, just turned 21, perfect timing. Boom. Well, happy birthday, my man. Happy birthday. I've had 2 21st birthdays in my life, dude. 2 of them, and still a few years to spare on top of that. But congrats, my man, and thank you for being with us for 21 months as well. Right, Gomez. Szoboszlai. Salah dummies. Gakpo's dragged back. That should be a yellow. And it is a yellow. Referee comes across with the yellow card. Can't have any arguments about that one. Bueno stopping Cody Gakpo from countering. Drags him back by the shoulder. Ladies and gents, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all of your time. But if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. Wolves goalkeeper today was the goalkeeper who was in goal for West Brom and Alisson scored that header. There you go. Connor just sent me on that. So Sam Johnson, the Wolves goalkeeper, was the West Brom keeper of the day. Alisson buried that header. Gravenberch out to Dom. Mo now. Back inside to Dom. Joe. Press comes on here. Szoboszlai in possession to Salah. Salah goes inside this time to Jones. Jones back to Szoboszlai. Rio's in a bit of space if they can get the ball out there quickly. Jones to Robertson. Robertson. Now go on the overlap. Rio. Strike. It's headed away by the Wolves defender. I thought it was very telling there, by the way, when Andy Robertson played that ball into Rio. He didn't go on the overlap. And I wonder, is it because they're giving Rio a bit more license to not track back and they don't want to overcommit with the left back making that overlap and run in case we're dispossessed? Certainly seems like it's a bit more of a cautionary move from Arna. Because usually you would expect our fullback to get that ball, give it into the feet of Rio and go around them. Free kick here to Liverpool. Wide left. Halfway between the edge of the 18-yard box and the end of the pitch. When evil follows. Thank you, my friend. And Corbin said, hope you're well, mate. Just polished off a Chinese. Nice. I can't even tell you the last time I had a Chinese. Honestly, I was talking to Connor the other day. It must be over a year since I've had a Chinese takeaway. Right. Szoboszlai standing over this free kick. Virgil, Cody, Maka lining up just outside the 6-yard box. In comes the cross from Dom. Doesn't beat the first man, but it is headed behind for a Liverpool corner. Liverpool have lost their last 2 away matches in the FA Cup, but each of the last 5 wins of the competition coming at Anfield. There you go. Craig, why is your clock about 30 seconds behind? It isn't. My clock is exactly synced up with TNT Sports Clock, mate. Now, there is a delay that comes through on YouTube to your side, and I think the BBC game is probably a bit ahead, so if you want, I can switch for the second half to the BBC. But it's absolutely in sync with TNT Sports here. Right, anyway, here comes another corner from Dom. Go short again with it this time to Gakpo. Or excuse me, to Gravenberch. He puts in a deep cross. Too close to Sam Johnson, though, who comes and claims it. Oscar Wisting, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, sir. Thank you so much for becoming a member, bro. Appreciate you. Wolves now on the attack. Ball into Mateus Mane. He moves it out to the left channel. Wolves put in a cross. Alisson comes and claims it. Loving the 3 or 4 minutes for Diogo from both fans. Yeah, 18 for the Wolves fans and 20 obviously for the Liverpool fans. And yes, it is obviously lovely to see both fans remembering Diogo and celebrating his life. And of course, we can't forget Andre as well. Rio shoved off the ball there from Wolves defender. So it's another free kick to Liverpool. Adrian, thank you, bro. Adrian Wilden, thank you for becoming a member, sir. Appreciate you. Somebody said, do you remember what that Kevin lad said? Oh, I do, John, yeah. Just not going to give him the time of day to bring it back up, mate. I remember what he said, the little scumbag, but yeah, best not to give him any airtime. Again, thank you to the people who've just become members as well. Really appreciate your support. Right, another free kick for the Reds here in a decent position. Andy Robertson over this one. Deep cross. Sam Johnson comes out, gets a fist on it. But I think the referee's given a free out here against Virgil. So, question about Andy Robertson, ladies and gents. What do we think happens with Robbo at the end of the season? I'd love him to stay and sign a new deal for a year or two. But I kind of, and I don't know this for a fact, so I'm just trying to read the room. It feels like more likely he'll go. And I guess he's on a relatively high wage at the club, which he's earned, of course. But I can see that at the club thinking if Milos Kerkez is going to be the starting left back, they can probably save themselves quite a chunk of money. What's this one? No idea why all over Georgie thought we'd rest Ali. I don't know, Lewis, why he hasn't gone for Georgie. For a couple of reasons, mate. One, like we said, we usually give the cups to the backup keeper. And also, with it being closer and closer towards Alisson's maybe time at Liverpool coming to an end, we don't really have a big enough sample size with Georgie to know what to expect. So, yeah, I'm with you. I would have liked to have seen him this evening. Doesn't Slot need a holiday to de-stress? Yes, when it's time to have a holiday. Not in the middle of a season when we have games. This wasn't an international break, Ratton. He had his holiday. He partied at the end of last season. We won the league before the season was over. Then he had the whole summer. Then he comes back in, had a little jolly up in October in the international break. You know, a lot of other managers would have gone watching their players or working with the underage teams back at the AXA or trying to figure it out. But no, he had a trip to Dubai. So I think he could have gone a couple of more months without having to have another little bit of suntan and stay at the AXA. So, like I said, my position isn't going to change on why I think it was wrong, but I'm absolutely appreciative that other people will see it the same way, or a different way, excuse me. Jones now. His ball in, headed away. Second ball, back to Ryan Graffenberg. He tries to flick it through. Still Ryan. Cuts back. Shot. Deflection. Ooh, dragged it wide. Unlucky, Ryan. Unlucky. Liverpool corner. I'm not watching the match because of that embarrassing loss. I'm watching the Ireland match instead. I'm tuning in, though. Well, appreciate you being with us. It's... Again, I wouldn't say it's been a blistering start from Liverpool, but we're not under the cosh either. It's kind of similar, really, to the league game, the way it's gone thus far. This is the fifth corner for Liverpool, though. Salah to take it, puts in the cross again on top of Sam Johnson, who touches it over, and it'll be yet another Liverpool corner. I think there was just a bit too much on that one from Mo. They go short this time to Rio. Soboslai to Salah. Salah puts in a cross. It's deep. It's overhit, unfortunately, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Ross Dolan said, love the streams and videos. Keep it up. Thank you, Ross. Absolute legend, mate. Appreciate you. These commentators are so damn boring, they should hire you, Craig. Oh, Ben, I wouldn't last 5 minutes, mate, with my swearing. I'd be apologising left, right and centre for the language. So you know what, though? I miss the old fan zone days. Do you remember them on Sky? They used to be brilliant. Some of them fan zone commentaries were absolute quality. Gareth, how are you, sir? Gareth Byrne said, who's your next manager of choice? So if I could pick anybody, it would be Kloppo back or Luis Enrique. I'm absolutely happy to go with Xabi Alonso as well, though. But I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to try to say to the world, Gareth, that it's not a bit of a risk bringing in Alonso. You know, he hasn't managed in the Prem before. He has experience. He's plenty as a player. But I just think it's a sensible, easy win for the club and the owners. What about yourself, though, Gareth? We'd love to hear your thoughts on the manager situation, mate. Right, free kick to Liverpool here. Maka over it. Goes short to Salah, who pulled into a pocket of space. He plays in a ball that Wolves managed to clear. Now Mateus Mane bringing it away for Wolves. He slips, thankfully. And Liverpool regain possession with Ryan Gravenberch. Good from him. Well, he keeps the ball, wins it. Goes back to Maka. I thought he'd taken too much out of it for a second, but we're still in possession. Rio now, wide left. Puts in a deep cross. A good ball from Rio. Wolves defender clears it off Salah for a goal kick. Ahmad said, can somebody explain what our current tactic is? It feels like we go wide, cross and hope for the best. Without trying to be an asshole, Ahmad, I think you've pretty much summed it up, mate. That's been the way for a while. Like, this is what I keep saying. When Arna says we haven't played well or we didn't do this, we didn't that, he never tells the world what we've done wrong. So the truth is, Ahmed, I don't think any of us know what he wants them to do, because what we're seeing doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Like you've said, just getting into these half spaces and putting in low aimless crosses. Rio's at least tried to go around the outside and put in a few from the byline. It's just, I understand it is difficult to play when the team's sitting back in a low block, but you need to move it quicker. And look, there's a switch on now. Dom sees it. See? Well done, Dom. See, that is what you need to do against a low block. Now, here's Rio into the penalty area. Still Rio. Cross in and Wolves headed behind. That is what we need to do. Create those overloads and switch it quickly like Dom did. When evil follows again. Thank you, bro. Craig, I haven't been able to watch the game. Can you summarise what's happened? There's not a lot has happened, to be fair. Liverpool have huffed and puffed and had a lot of territory. I think this is our 7th corner already. Not really forced Sam Johnson into much so far. But then again, we have had nothing to do defensively either. It's it's defence versus attack, but it's kind of cancelling each other out a bit at the minute. You know, if it was a boxing fight, you'd certainly say Liverpool are winning on the scorecards, but right, here comes the corner. Again, Wolves clearing at their near post. Second ball, though, back out to Dom. Takes a touch, gives it to Ryan Gravenberch. Ryan gets it out of his feet, has a crack. Unlucky. Drags it just wide of Sam Johnson's right-hand post. Craig, there's a KTV in Brazil and a YouTuber started it. You got the rights to stream and there's no language barrier. He says whatever he wants and it's so fun to watch. Nice. That sounds class. I'd love that. I'd love us to be able to pay for rights to show the game on YouTube or something and be able to commentate over it. Obviously, we couldn't pay TV levels of revenue, but that'd be amazing. And I'm sure that's a very enjoyable experience for that gentleman that runs the channel. And wish him the very best with it. Right. Mane. Again, Wolves playing in some tight spaces, get a bit of space here to operate in. Ball in behind Joe Gomez, though, who shuffles back, and Joe should be able to see this one out, which he does for a goal kick. Josh said, we need to stop putting pressure on Rio. Yes, he's unbelievably good, but too much pressure can ruin that. But respectfully, Josh, who's putting the pressure on him, mate? I don't think people being excited to see him play is putting pressure on him. I can certainly tell you as a fan, I understand that young players will come in and will have ups and downs. I expect that, you know. Sometimes they look a little bit lost out there. Other times they look really exciting. But I really don't think, mate, there's too much pressure on him from the fans. It's just more an excitement and a longing to see him given a chance. Gary said the problem would not be your swearing, it would be you telling the truth no matter who might offend. You would be the elephant in the room. Now, Gary, how bad is it, mate, that we're talking about me telling the truth and it being a problem? But you're not wrong. In society at the minute, mate, despite what we're all told as children, there isn't much of an appetite for truth, is there? It's more a market for alternative truths. And yeah, look, I was brought up simply to know right and wrong and to believe in what I say. And if I do believe in something, talk about it, speak up about it. And look, I'm aware that I could play the game and get more opportunities, and perhaps my life here would be a bit easier, but I am who I am, and I can only be the best version of me I can. But you're right. The world is lacking in the morals it tries to preach us as children when we're growing up. You know what's right and wrong. You know what's good and bad. But sometimes saying these things out loud can get you in trouble. Robbo, back out to young Rio. Jones, Gakpo, back out to Robbo. 33 minutes on the clock so far. Gravenberg, Gomez, Liverpool still just moving it around, trying to find a bit of space. Robbo now. He goes back to young Rio. Rio gets inside, strike, blocked, ricochets to Gomez, who hits it. When that dropped to Joe, I was thinking, is this it? Is this the moment? Is this the Joe Gomez goal? And then he hit it and it flew miles wide. But just curious, do you think the Reds stand a chance today? Of course. We've been a better team in this game, but we just haven't really created anything, mate. Of course we have a chance. Liverpool have a chance against anybody. It just depends which version of us shows up and, you know, if we can fight the breakthrough. But one thing I will never say is that we don't have good players. This team has really good footballers in it. And I have no regrets on any of the signings the club made in the summer. Yeah. So I do think the future's bright. I do think, you know, when everybody's back and available and we had a bit more depth, yeah, I absolutely think there's a lot more to come from this squad. The real question for me, though, is just, do I think Garn is the one to get the most from it? And no, unfortunately, is where I'm at with that one. Jones now. Marcus, I'm going to move on to your comment in a second, bro. I'm just waiting to see how this attack goes. Dom, back out to Mo. And again, Jones to Salah. Back to Jones. If you can, folks, do hit that subscribe button for me. We're only 3 away now from 373,500, excuse me. So if you can, please do hit that subscribe button. Gakpo to Rio. He's crowded out over there. Gets a little bit of a bang to the head for his troubles. Hopefully he's okay. He looks like he's okay. And the ball goes behind for a Wolves goal kick. Marcus said, as a Norwegian Liverpool fan, it was very sad to see the father of Reese's funeral. They played You'll Never Walk Alone. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit weird with funerals, Marcus. I always try not to feel sad, if that makes any sense. Because there's plenty of time to be sad, and there's plenty of time, obviously, to mourn and get somebody remembered. But I genuinely think funerals, I like them to be a celebration of somebody's life. You know, because we'll all have our time to mourn and feel sad. But on that moment, I hope when I pass away, that's what happens, that there's a celebration of the good times and what this person brought to your life. No more so than a father, of course, in that scenario. Oh, Sisley needs a hug, don't you, bro? It's all right. It's okay. Uncle Fester's quite happy here, mate, and you can't even spell Fester, you fucking idiot. There's so many words, mate, I'd use to describe you if we met in person, but unfortunately, probably a few of them just above your pay grade as well. So you just keep to being a sad little fuck on the internet, and I'll continue winning. You're my favourite elephant in the room. There you go. I'll take it. Well, I hope not to be the elephant in the room for too much longer, my friend. Jones now. 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's been a pretty dull affair so far. Liverpool making all the pressing here, but not really finding many clear-cut chances. McAllister, the Soboslai, to Ryan Gravenberch. I miss my boy Lucho. How do you feel about it? It's a difficult one because I would have liked him to stay. I do think he deserved a pay increase, but I was kind of getting a bit fed up of hearing him wanting moves away as well. And it felt like it was a financial thing for Diaz, which again, I understand. Like, I try to be mindful that some people in life, and Diaz, I think, would fall into this category, comes from a level of poverty that I've never experienced. And I wouldn't, what he does and how far that money can take him, his family, in the next few generations. I mean, that does weigh heavily on me. So I've no problem with a footballer wanting to increase their financials if that's the motivation for their career. Absolutely none. No judgment from me whatsoever. I just think it's a shame that we couldn't have kept him a bit longer and he didn't feel happier, because there's no doubt he's a very good footballer. Do you really think we can get Luis Enrique? I think he's Man City man. I'd like Xabi with Stevie as his right-hand man. I don't think we can get Luis Enrique, no. I think with regards to Man City, Maresca is the most likely candidate to go in there if Pep leaves. And what you've said about Gerrard with Alonso, as the main guy, I'd love that, mate. I'd absolutely love that, Gareth. That would be incredible. Imagine the aura in that dressing room. And I think it would be a very good way for Steven Gerrard to kind of get himself back into the mix, because, we've seen it before. Assistant managers, let's look at Pep Linders as an example. He's had a couple of cracks at being a number one. It hasn't worked out for him, but, being in the position of Jurgen's number two, and I'm sure working with Guardiola will probably get him another opportunity somewhere as well. So for Stevie, it could be a platform, if Liverpool do well under Alonso, for him to then go on and have another crack at a head coach role somewhere. Rio now. Ball inside to... Oh, here we go. Dom time. Ball inside to Maka, who's fouled from João Gomes. Now this is Dominic Szoboszlai territory. Maka looks like he's feeling the pain of this one on his... that's a dead leg. Oh, I think we've all felt that pain. A knee straight into the thigh. Yeah, that's it. That's a dead leg for Maka. Right, Dom, you know what to do. Top bins, mate. Craig, would you take Vinny for 30 million? No, I wouldn't, because I love him as a player. He's an incredibly good footballer. I just couldn't be bothered watching his antics, though. And I don't mean the way he celebrates. I'm absolutely on board with him celebrating however the fuck he wants after scoring a goal. He shouldn't have to tone it down for anyone. It's the other antics with him I don't like, but he's a wonderful player. What do you make with Dom, the Real Madrid rumours? I'll touch on that in 1 second, mate. Just let me get through this free kick. Right, so here we go. Szoboszlai steps up. Come on, Dom. Come on. Salah rolls it back. Dom hits it. It's into the wall, unfortunately. Gravenberch, his strike saved by Johnston. Unlucky. What do I think about Soboslai's Madrid rumours? Look, he's made no secret throughout his life that he's a Madridista and that he wants that move. Even when in his Leipzig days, you can see the Madrid little gear bag he had. Um, it's one thing having that thought and dream, but it's another thing going there and Madrid putting up the money. So honestly, I feel quite relaxed, and I think he'll sign a new contract with Liverpool. I really don't think Madrid are going to make a play for Dominic Soboslai. I think they'll move for McAllister much more likely than Dom. So yeah, as much as I understand it, and I'm sure he would like to play there, at the moment he's a Liverpool player, and you know the situation is in Liverpool's hands now, and I very much hope he signs an extension. Robbo, he fires in a cross over everybody. Salah scrambles back, recycles the ball, goes to Virgil. Poseidon said, watching the BBC comment on the struggles Mo's having compared to Rio on the other side. No kidding. He certainly, I'd say Rio's seen a lot more of the ball in this one so far than Mo. Here's Mo in possession now, puts in a cross, flicked on by Virgil, headed back to the keeper by Wolves. That's decent defending. So it's just what I feel sad about Mo at the minute is there's a real lack of electricity when he picks up the ball. Like there's a real, he doesn't seem to want to get the ball down and run at people. He's getting the ball down. He's having a look. He's trying to pick out a cross or a pass. I'd like to just see him run at people more. That's one of the things I'm most excited about Rio, because sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes you'll be dispossessed, but other times you might get a lucky ricochet. You might win a free kick. You might win a penalty. That's I don't feel the same sense of excitement when Mo's in possession as I would have in years gone by. Right, we are 90 seconds away from the stoppage time part of the first half. Gravenberg in possession. He spreads it out looking for Rio. Rio, beautiful control from him. Cuts inside. Goes one way, then the other. Gets towards the byline. Puts in a cross. And unfortunately, it's defended by Wolves and they clear their lines. It'll be coming straight back at them, though, as Virgil regains possession on the halfway line. He saunters into the Wolves half, nothing on, so he recycles it back to Gomez. Szoboszlai. To Jones. Back inside to Dom. Marcus, give me 2 seconds, bro. I'll get to that comment now. McAllister. Back to Gravenberg. 30 seconds of normal time left in the first half. McAllister now edge of the box. Strike from him. It's dragged wide. Did it take a deflection? Yes. Liverpool corner. So Marcus said, would you say Liverpool and Madrid are in the same category? Will Liverpool ever be in the same bracket? It seems like Liverpool's never enough. Look, Madrid are probably the biggest club in the world. I've no problem admitting that. Fan base wise, what they've won with regards to European Cups and stuff, although the first 5 or 6 of them, questionable enough, but some players just have that lure of wanting, maybe, some of it might be a lifestyle thing, a weather thing, a language thing for others. So I understand it's an appeal to certain players, but right now it's hardly a football club that looks like it's in a good place. And I don't know. It's never appealed to me. I've always been a Barcelona person. I've always been very anti-Madrid on a lot of things. So yeah, I don't see the appeal, but I understand that it is a huge appeal to others. But yeah, Liverpool should be enough. But it is for a lot of people, you have to admit, though, some people do have dreams. So, like, let's say I was a carbon copy of Tuesday night. I'm not confident, said Gareth Griffiths. Thank you, Gareth. It's half time, ladies and gents. So let's say, Marcus, I was playing with. Oh God, I'm trying to big myself. Let's say I was playing with Borussia Dortmund over in Germany, and Liverpool came in for me. Well, that would be it for me. You know, it wouldn't matter to me what I'd achieved at Borussia Dortmund or how much I was loved there. If there was a chance to go to Liverpool, that would be it. I'd be gone. Um, but if I was at Liverpool, you know, there's nowhere else I'd want to go. I'd want to be there for the rest of my career because I'm a Liverpool fan. So I have to understand that some other people might have their own dreams, and Madrid could be that dream, Liverpool could be that dream, Man United could be that dream. Right, ladies and gents, we are at half time. It is still scoreless, and it's been a fairly uneventful first half. As you can see, stats-wise, Wolves haven't really offered much going forward. Possession, it's 71% to Liverpool, 29% to Wolves. Total shots in the game, 0 from Wolves with 0 on target. Liverpool, 11 shots, 3 on target. Dangerous attacks, 44 for Liverpool, 13 for Wolves. Corners, 8 for the Reds, none for Wolves. Total passes, Liverpool have gone through 340 with a 94% accuracy. Wolves, 139 with 79%. Daniel said, you have to understand you're just not good now. Why do I have to understand that, Daniel? Because I disagree with it, mate. I understand we're not playing well. I understand this football is dire to watch. But I absolutely believe wholeheartedly, Daniel, that there is a far better performance level to be got now of what's at this football club. I think we have really good players, mate, that can stand up against any other squad in the world. Just, it's not good enough. So we are good. We do have good players. We're just not playing in a very attractive style. You know, we won the Premier League last year, mate. You don't do that by accident. And we've improved that squad, which is why we're so frustrated. Rio has been looking great, said Aaron Garza. He's looked, I wouldn't say great. He's looked okay. He's looked good, but he's made mistakes as well. But it is a learning process for Rio. There will be things he does that we feel like maybe he's taking too much out of the ball, or maybe he could have gotten his head up. But this is all part of the learning experience. But at least he's having a pop, right? And he's showing no fear out there. He's trying to make something happen. That really was just, I think, a perfect encapsulation of where we've been at this season, that 45 minutes. So he'll be in there talking about having dominated possession and all this stuff, but really, what have we done with it? Like, I can't remember Sam Johnson having to make a decent save in this game. So for all the possession and territory and everything else, I don't really feel like we've been close to a breakthrough or anything like that. And that's been the frustration, right? 71% of the ball. It looks like we're absolutely swarming and all over them. But Sam Johnson hasn't really had to break a sweat. Craig, do you listen to the overlap? I see clips every now and again from it. Bell was on there explaining he barely did tactics at all. He said if you're good, you can always play good regardless of the system. You just naturally click. Yeah, I've seen clips of the conversation with Bale. He talked about playing with an injured disc in his back or something for most of his career. It's just, I can't prove what I'm about to say because, again, I'm not in that dressing room. But to me, it comes across like the players are playing within themselves. Like, they don't believe in what they're doing and they're trying to do what the manager asks, but also struggling to express themselves. And really, there's no natural flow to our play. I'm aware playing against a low block is frustrating and difficult. I mean, we've seen it for years with Jurgen. But this just isn't good enough. This is what I can't get away from. There's just a feeling, there's just something that just doesn't feel right. Our football club feels like it's in a bit of an unsure era at the minute. Right, where were we at? Mark sent me a thing to show me that Wolves have unveiled a permanent memorial to Diogo Jota this evening, which again is a lovely touch from Wolves. And thank you, Mark, for sending that on to me. Jack Begg said, Salah offering 0, Gakpo offering 0. Yeah, it's. I think Gakpo hasn't really had much, to be fair, centrally to work with. So I'm a bit more understanding of Cody in this one. Yeah, look, Salah again feels like he's playing within himself, or like I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but just something just doesn't feel right about everything at the minute. You know, I fully believe that a different coach would get a better tune out of these lads. And I'm never going to say the lads aren't playing for the manager, because I think they have professionalism, they play for the badge, but I just don't think they believe in what they're being told. And that's kind of coming across. Chris Hewitt said, this is so frustrating when you've got a player attacking the box and you have nothing in the middle to attack it. Gakpo off, Ekitike on, Gakpo painful. So on the Gakpo stuff, or on the Ekitike stuff, I did say at the very start of the stream that my thoughts when I'd seen the team were that he's going to try and find a way to win it as it is, but he's almost aiming to win it late and to bring the Ekatikes, the Frimpongs on. And that's okay. If you can manage the game and do that, fair enough. And it's not unusual in the FA Cup for a manager to do stuff like that. So again, I'm open-minded to us winning this game late. So it's like, don't disagree with what you've said about being frustrating and about not having a real option there. I also understand that he's working with a very limited ability to change it for various reasons. Like if you look at the right back situation tonight, yes, Dom is in there doing a decent job, and yes, he can be a playmaker from there, but we're also losing his impetus a little bit further forward. Now, if you put Gomez into right back, you can't rest the centre back. You can't really play Frimpong until the last 30-35 because he played on Tuesday and he's still coming back from injury. Then if you're talking about changes to the front line, I mean, maybe you could bring Chiesa on, but let's be fair, Chiesa hasn't exactly been great when he's been given opportunities this season. There's not much more I can think of other than, get the lads to play a bit quicker out there with a bit more intensity, take a few more risks. Harry said Tottenham to get relegated. Do you know what? Even when they were within 4 points of the relegation zone, Harry, I thought, no, they'll pull this out. They'll get a win. They'll do something. But do you know what surprised me is how quickly that stadium just goes from some sort of positivity to crickets. It's bad. The vibe around that football club feels bad. And the recruitment was nothing short of a laugh. So can they get relegated? Yeah, they're in a relegation battle now. I think, look, I feel comfortable in saying if they hadn't had as many injuries, they would have been in a better position, because the players that they've missed are a big loss to them. But even at that, can you imagine that club going down and being in the Championship with that stadium and the players in the wage book they have? It is, it's crazy to think about it. Like, Spurs are 1 point above the relegation zone. Salah is coasting. Horrible, said Pluto Born. Connor said, dear God, don't make us sit through another 30 minutes of this in extra time. Paddy Wacker said, Craig, is it just me or do we run out of ideas? Also, in my opinion, we have two speeds, slow and slower. I can't understand what we're supposed to be doing. It's slots management and instructions to the lads. Yeah. Look, again, I'm here as nonplussed and as numb to this as you are. There's just no spark left and Onzo needs to come in. Yep. Don't disagree. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd love to be in the dressing room. I'd love to hear what's being said in that dressing room right now, because what we haven't seen tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I feel comfortable in saying this, we have not seen any fucking response to the loss on Tuesday. Like, it's not like these lads are out there and they're chomping at the bit that they want to prove a point, that they want to put that right wrong. Doesn't feel that way at all, does it? It feels like this is just a continuation from Tuesday's game. And that, again, is another huge indictment of the manager. Because there's no surprises here. He's fucking had time to prepare for these two games. And we've looked absolutely clueless. David said, Craig, is my positivity blinding me from our performance this half? Look, if you look at it one way, David, and you look at the possession stats, you look at the chances, you look at the corners, you can say to yourself, we've been on top in this game. And we have. But being on top against a team that's offered nothing going forward, and yet we still haven't created a clear-cut chance, I think in itself is, again, another indictment. We've had corners, we're hoping for something from a set piece, but for all the possession, for all the territory, what have we done to trouble Sam Johnstone? Find the Pass said, Trent took a player away from Salah by making a box midfield. Without it, he has 2-3 players on him at all times. He's no space. Noticed it last 5 games. So, would you not say that on the other side, mate, Rio has the same issue? Every time he's picked up the ball, there's been 2 players out there with him. But he still took them on. Still tried to make something happen. So far, when Salah's got the ball, he's either tried to find a pass with it, or he's tried to put in an early cross into the 18-yard box. I don't remember him trying to take on a man once so far. But even allowing for, let's say, him being doubled and tripled up on, that should create space elsewhere. And we should be looking to exploit that. So if we're going into this game and we're thinking, right, when Mo gets the ball, he's going to have 2-3 people on him. Then we're thinking to ourselves, or we should be asking, right, well, when they're on Mo, where are we creating the overload? Who's been taken away from another space to come out there and protect to back up the full back with Mo? That should make a hole somewhere else. We should be finding a way to look to exploit that space. Think Slot is pressured to play Salah. I don't believe for one second that there's anybody telling him he has to play Salah, no. But is he pressured in a different way, thinking that if he doesn't play him, it's going to add more criticism, more questions, more pressure? Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, but I don't believe for one second he's been told he has to play Salah. I don't. But is the pressure there from another way to play him? Well, if he doesn't play him, if he plays him and we lose, he can say I played him. If he doesn't play him and we lose, then people will go, well, why didn't Salah play? So, he's this is where we are. I don't really know, because a lot of this is us trying to guess from the outside. But I'd like to think that no coach worth their salt ever at any club would listen to being told who you can and can't play. That I'd walk out, and I'm sure most coaches would in that scenario. So I think these are his decisions to make. And how it works out is how it works out. Can we, for the love of God, get Salah and Gakpo off? Said 195 Christer, or Christer, I'm not sure which one it is. Christer, sorry, my apologies. How did Connolly rank us number 4 in Europe since New Year's Eve? I've no idea what that's in relation to. Sorry, Alex, that's confused me, bro. I don't know what that's in relation to, mate. Elodge, or L-Dodge, I can't read out usernames, folks, apologies. L-Dodge said, this is our only slim chance of silverware. I'm not the deluded minority who thinks we'll win the Champions League. Look, am I right in saying it's quarter-final after tonight? I think I'm right. I think this is last 16, if I'm right. So, yeah, you're into a quarter-final if you win this game. You're close. So, yes, we've got to get it done. Now, the players are coming out for the second half. Let's see what we can do. What do you think? Maybe a 3-4-2-1 with Alonso at LFC? Perhaps. I can see a world where that's possible. You have Wirtz playing off a striker or two strikers. You've got wing backs in Milos Kerkez, Connor Bradley, Jeremy Frimpong. And again, these are some players that he's worked with, Alonso. He knows exactly what to do with Frimpong. He knows exactly what to do with Wirtz. And I'm sure deep down they'd be delighted if Alonso became the new Liverpool head coach. Right, folks, second half about to get on the way. Liverpool playing from right to left. Hopefully with a bit more excitement in this one than we got in the first 45. Referee just doing his checks with the two goalkeepers now. Don't forget, by the way, we'll have our match reaction coming up after the game as well. Right, folks, we're underway for the second half. Actually, I promised you I would go to BBC, didn't I? So let me switch up. Yeah, they are ahead. So I've got to speed my clock up. You're right. BBC are definitely about 20 seconds ahead. So let me just speed this clock up a little bit. Let me just freeze this. 37. 5, 6. Right, now we're in sync with BBC for the second half. No, I'm still a little bit behind. Apologies, my mic. I'm going to freeze that till we get up to 1 minute and 6. And then we'll go again. So I'll sync at 47 minutes for everyone. But 1 second. This is just getting us up to 3, 4, 5. Right, now we're in sync with BBC. Liverpool corner, by the way. Mohamed Salah went on a gallop down the right-hand side. Tries to cut infield. Ball ricochets off the Wolves defender's legs and it goes behind. So yeah, second half I swapped it over to BBC because you guys are right there, about 15-20 seconds ahead of Sky, or TNT, excuse me. So, in comes this corner now. Mohamed Salah to take it. Virgil and Gomez starting their movement from the back post now, from the edge of the 6-yard box. Here comes the corner in from Salah. It's headed away at the near post without a Liverpool player within 3 or 4 yards of the area where Mo played that in. How is this still? I don't know what's going on here. My clock's way off. There we go. Now we're in clock. Now, finally, we're in sync. There we go. My apologies on that one. Goal kick, Wolves. Salah tries to keep it in, but Wolves usher it behind. There we go. Right, folks, I'll sync up at 48 minutes, excuse me. So we are at 48 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Someone said I'm still 7 seconds behind. That's the YouTube delay, mate. It doesn't go directly from my microphone straight to you. There is an inbuilt delay in YouTube by a few seconds. Right, couple of super chats to get to. So, Bill Connolly of ESPN ranked the top teams in Europe since the start of 2026 and he put us 4th. I don't get that, Elks. I don't get that at all. Although, look, to be fair, there are slim pickings with regards to the quality of teams in Europe this season. Nobody's jumping off the page to me as a clear contender to win the Champions League, but I probably wouldn't have had us top 4 myself now in European rankings. There's a feeling I can't get out of my head. If the offer is right, Alisson will be sold. What do you mean? I didn't say if the offer is right, Alisson will be sold. I never said if the offer is right, Alisson will be sold, mate. So if you're alluding, or if you're trying to say I said that, I didn't. If you have a feeling that if the offer is right, Alisson will be sold, I don't know, but I don't think we're ready to move him on. You know, his contract's up at the end of this season, but Liverpool have a 1-year option on that, which they will trigger. So, yeah, I mean, I hope Alisson doesn't move on this summer because I don't know if we're ready to transition away from him yet, but we'll have to wait and see, my man. We'll have to wait and see. Oof. Ball across, goal kick. Connor said we're not even top 4 in the Prem. Well, that's true. Can't argue with that. We're 6th. Cross in there. Defender runs across the front of Virgil. Or excuse me, their attacker runs across the front of Virgil. Virgil plays it off. The Wolves player goal kick Liverpool. And we get on with it. Gomez now. No substitutions, by the way, at half time. Salah, he tries a ball, but it's intercepted. Again, another silly error. Wolves now looking to counter. Good switch into the right channel now. Robbo comes across to help out. He needs another player there with him. Cross comes in off the back of Andy Robertson. Ricochets to Rio Engamoa. To Gakpo now. Come on, Rio. Rio, speed up. Rio, come on, mate. Salah. Robbo. His strike. Yes, Andy Robertson. 1-0. Gets in. Andy Robertson with an absolute rifle of a strike. 1-0. Gets in. Beautiful strike that, Robbo. Yes, we'll take that, sir. We'll take that. You know, you try not to get too excited when the ball breaks to Robbo because, you know, he's hit a few sliced ones and a few skyrockets, but this one, he absolutely arrows into the far corner. Lovely strike. Gakpo played it into Salah. Salah's on the right side of the penalty area. He cuts back across. He's crowded out. He still nutmegs the ball to Jones. Jones to Robbo. Gets it out of his feet. Buries it. Lovely strike that from Andy Robertson. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Jones to Robbo. One touch out of his feet. Bang. Perfect. What a strike. That's one of them. Robbo definitely knew when that left his foot that was going in. Beautiful. Lovely strike, Andy Robertson. Well done. You know, Wolves can blame who they want on it, but they can't blame it on the sunshine. They can't blame it on the moonlight. Can't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Go on, Robbo. Newland's delighted. He's loving it. He loves an Andy Robertson goal. Sorry, chaps, I'm going to get into this one now. But yes, mate, if it's level, it goes to extra time. But good start to the second half now. Robbo. Cross in. 2-0. Oh, flags up. Flags up against Salah. He doesn't believe he was offside. Flag went up quickly from the David Lynch lookalike there. Let's have a look. Ball played out to Gakpo. He plays it to Rio. Rio to Robbo. Oh, I don't know. This is tight. I don't know if Salah's ahead of the ball. He's certainly behind the Wolves players. But my question is he ahead of the ball? I don't know if he's actually ahead of the ball. That's the best chance we have here is him being behind the ball or in line with the ball. Oh, it's a tough one. Still being checked by VAR. It was a great move and it's a lovely goal if it's given. But again, we're waiting. So if it is given, it's a great goal. Well, referee's getting a decision in his ear. Goal given. 2-0. Goal given. Yes, gets in. Salah with the goal. Robbo with the assist. It was a lovely goal. It really was a good goal. into the wide position. Early cross across the front of the 6-yard box. Mohamed Salah coming in at the far post into the roof of the net. Good goal. Good goal, gentlemen. There we are. 2-0. We'll take that. He was behind the ball, like we said. Yeah, it did look to me like he was behind that ball. So he might have been behind the Wolves defenders, but he was behind the ball, and that's all that matters. Lovely goal. Well worked. Good gamble by Moat going into the back post. Lovely delivery from Andy Robertson. And quick fire double puts the Reds 2-0 up. And that'll do very nicely. Right. Perfect. Lovely start to the second half. We'll take that. Yeah. Good. Good goal. Delighted for Mo. Delighted for Robbo. That's a goal and an assist tonight for Andy Robertson. Hopefully this gets the confidence flowing in the boys, and Wolves obviously now have to come and have a go, so the space should open up. So hopefully we can have an enjoyable last 35 here. Go on the boys, come on. Rio. His name is Rio and he dances down the wings. Come on, boys. Oh, Andy Robertson. Oh, Andy Robertson. Oh, yes. I think it's fair to say Robbo's repaid the manager's faith in playing him in this one. A goal and an assist. So in an ideal world now, I wouldn't be getting Wirtz on this pitch now. Oh, Virgil gives the ball away, trying to carry it out. Strike! Oh, Alisson forced into a save there. Was Virgil dispossessed? It comes to Bellegarde. He gets the ball out of his feet, has a shot, has Alisson scrambling, but he manages to regain it at the second attempt. But yeah, nothing silly now, boys. Yeah, so a defo in this scenario now, not looking to have to go and win it, I'd be giving Wirtz the rest and keeping him till he's 100% ready to go on Tuesday. Frimpong would be an interesting one. Leone I'd be getting on for a little bit as well. And do you know what? Actually, what else I'd do is I'd take Virgil off for the last 25 and bring Canade on to give Virgil a breather. Free kick here to Wolves, about halfway inside the Liverpool half. Just a body check there from Maka. Oh, I love it. I love a quick fire double, lads. I do. Deep cross. Alisson comes, gets a fist on it. And then Wolves try to lift it back over him, and thankfully it drops over the crossbar and behind the goal. VI Joker said, want to see Rio starting going forward. He creates and gives us a lot of fear factor up front again. One thing I didn't like from that movement from Rio, I think he could have got further forward a bit quicker on the counter. When Mo received the ball on the right-hand side, I would have liked to have seen Rio busting the gut down the left to give an option, but he delays his run somewhat. It mattered not in the end anyway, because Andy Robertson rifles it in, but just in the future there, I thought Rio could have helped and got forward a little bit quicker. That's something, though, he's obviously going to learn as time goes on. Right, Szoboszlai now carrying the ball across the front of his goal to Andy Robertson. Robertson to Rio. Rio cuts inside. Spread it, Rio. Spread it. No, took too much out of it and then gets fouled. Could have released that one quicker, Rio. Jones. to Robbo. Liverpool just playing little 1-2s here between Jones and Rio and Gamoa. Cross now to Gomez. Gomez. Jones. McAllister. Back to Rio. Oh, drop to him there. Very similar kind of situation to the goal he scored against Newcastle. Drops to him the edge of the box and he tries to start it outside the post and curl it in. Rio, he just didn't quite get the direction on it, but he forced Sam Johnson into a save nonetheless. It's back with Rio now. Couple of step overs. Still Rio, still going. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. Tries to beat him at the near post this time, but Rio having a really impactful couple of minutes here. Again, look at that. Just gets it down, runs at these defenders, gets a bit of space. Maybe he could have got his head up, but you can also make an argument that he worth the chance for a shot. Here comes Armstrong now to replace Gomez for Wolves as they look to have a little bit more attacking threat in the game. You know my thoughts, folks. I love a young wide forward who just runs at people. It's one of my favourite things to look at in football. It's just a young, pacey, tricky winger putting the fear of God into fullbacks. Nearly 61 and a half minutes on the clock at Molineux. It's Liverpool 2, Wolves 0. Goal scored by Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah. Robbo with the assist for Salah's as well. Salah's required a VAR check, but correctly, he was adjudged to have been behind the ball, so that goal stood. Busy Media said Rio is so good. He's really exciting. Come on, boys. 28 to go. Is the next round the quarterfinals? Am I right in that? Sorry, I forgot to ask you guys that earlier on. This is last 16, right? Wolves go long. Virgil goes back. Allison plays the ball into Andy Robertson's path. His heavy touch loses it though. Wolves now. Oh, that could have been a chance. A big man up top just let the ball roll under his foot. He didn't control it. That could have been a chance for Rob Edwards' side. Yes, it is. Cool. So there we are. We're 2 games away from Wembley and a cup final. Luke, how are you, sir? Hey, Craig. Rio really reminds me of Neymar and Coutinho, just able to make the game go at his speed. I love him. Rio. Yeah, it's so exciting. Somebody made the comparison to Raheem Sterling earlier on. I do think it's a very apt comparison because I remember watching Raheem Sterling coming through as well, and you couldn't deny him. He was an undoubted talent that was going to make it, and you can see similar attributes in Rio. Just hope Rio sticks around the club a bit longer. Wolves now in possession inside the Liverpool half. Maka wins it back though. Virgil to Robbo. Chad said, I always felt a bit more security when Robbo plays. He's always passionate about the club. I feel like he keeps everybody loose with his personality. Yeah, Robbo's just a joy. I'd love to be in any dressing room that Andy Robertson was in. I'm sure any coach as well loves working with him. He's got that perfect mix, Andy Robertson, of professionalism, steely mentality, but obviously a good laugh as well. When will Gomez score? Oh, he's got to score this season, mate. He's got to. We can't not have Gomez leaving the club without scoring. He has to. Like, let's say, just for argument's sake, let's say we were 3-0 up here with 15 to go and we got a penalty. I mean, the sentimental old fool in me would love to see Gomez step up to take the penalty. Right, 25 to go at Molineux. It's still Liverpool up by a couple of goals. Oh, why can't people like you just support the team without being a smart ass? You're not a real Liverpool fan, Craig. Sorry, but this is the truth. So, because you've decided I'm not a Liverpool fan from your judgmental tone, that makes me not a real Liverpool fan. And where's the rule book on how to be a Liverpool fan? And blindly supporting anybody isn't good in life, mate. I'm not a smart arse. I critique performances and hold people to account when I don't see them. That's part of being a fan. But make one thing really clear here. You nor anybody else gets to tell me or any other person how to be a football fan or what is a real football fan. I've supported this football club for 36 years, been to Anfield over 30 times, travelled to European Cup finals, and know more about this football club than your dumbass will ever fucking know. So don't you ever think you can dictate to me whether I'm a Liverpool fan or not, you fucking moron. I hope that clears that one up for you. And also, most watched Liverpool fan on the channel on the planet. Just remember that the next time, mate. Remember that when I'm not a real Liverpool fan, that I've got the biggest Liverpool community on the fucking internet. Don't you ever forget it. But again, I don't know who you are, but thanks for the money and thanks for your tuppence worth. I'd love to know what qualifies a Liverpool fan as well, in your opinion. I'd genuinely love to know. Does saying nothing when the club's falling apart make me a Liverpool fan? Does, doing things just to get access make me a Liverpool fan? Does lying to people make me a Liverpool fan? I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin as a Liverpool fan, mate. But I'll try to sleep tonight knowing that you don't think I'm a real fan. It'll be a struggle, but I'll give it a go. Right, still no changes as of yet from Arna, but let's have a look at it. Greg said, "Love it, Craig. Continue being you. It's all I can be, mate. It's all I can be. Um, all he can ever do is sit on and watch because he hasn't got the balls to do what I do, or the knowledge, or the charisma, or the machismo, or the technical know-how. He's just another cunt on the internet who paid money to abuse me, and that's fine. You keep spending the money. You're so passionate, Craig. I love that response. He's just an arsehole. I'd slap fuck out of him if he was in front of me and said it to me, but he isn't in front of me. He's another pissant hiding behind a keyboard who would only ask me for a fucking picture if he's seen me. I've seen many of his type before. I hate you, I hate you. Can I have a photo? Can I have a selfie? That's all they are, little idiots. Imagine spending money, hard-earned money. You could have given that fiver to charity, like, fucking idiot. In fact, you know what? I'll give a 50 quid donation to charity just, because I'm a nice guy. And I can do that because idiots like you sending me fivers, mate. So we'll make a little donation for you in your little name there to a food bank or something. We'll put it to a good cause. So Mohamed Salah and Rio Engamoa coming off here for the Reds. Jeremy Frimpong coming on. Wirtz coming on as well. Interesting one. So we're going to get a quarter of the game for Wirtz and a quarter of the game for Frimpong. Nice to see Frimpong and Wirtz back out there. Obviously, we've seen Frimpong recently come back in a couple of games, but good to see Wirtz back out there. Gakpo spot under serious threat from Rio, said VI Jokers. Yeah, look, I think We want the manager to have these headaches, don't we? Any coach, like, you want them to have selection headaches. That's a good thing. So if Rio's come in and again delivered and shown that he belongs out there, you'd hope that this is a genuine head scratcher for the manager moving forward. Bellegarde for Wolves. They go backwards. Yeah, I'm genuinely buzzing to see Wirtz back out there. I could watch Wirtz play football all day. Rio and Sterling similarities. At least Rio doesn't run like a chicken on steroids. I just mean about coming through. I remember watching, excuse me, Raheem Sterling playing in the Youth FA Cup and just being mesmerised by the kid. Like, he was incredible. And I've seen similarities as well with Rio coming through. It's just undoubtable talent, just phenomenal. So Dom booked there a moment ago as well. I should have commented on that one. Sorry. You're so much better, Craig. Ignore him from South Africa. I don't mind him, mate. It's like I said, everyone's entitled to an opinion. I just can't imagine being such a cook, such a loser of a human being, that I spend money to have somebody read out my critical comment. Like, what type of beta bitch do you have to be to have that mentality? I couldn't imagine it, me being, me. Wirtz slips it through, looking for Dom. Well, he could be sadomasochistic. Maybe he's just Craig curious and he just doesn't know it yet. I don't know. It's all good. Chris, thank you, bro, for gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. Really appreciate that, Chris. Hydroclean said, how Gakpo hasn't come off yet, it's crazy. Actually turned into a poor footballer. I would not start him again. Maybe he starts for his resale value. I think, again, it's a case of, I don't disagree with you, but also, if I'm being really blunt about it, well, if he's playing him all the way here for the full 90, does that decrease the likelihood of him playing over in Galatasaray? So, is it a case of, well, he's playing all of this now and we might not see him play or start on Tuesday away against Galatasaray? I mean, we'll find out on Tuesday, right? Imagine Wirtz and Rio combo. Lovely, said VI Jokers. Well, I think we'll get to see it soon enough, my friend. I'm genuinely buzzing. We haven't looked ourselves since Wirtz has been away for just shy of 2 games now. Well, 3 games actually, because he missed the Forest game, didn't he? Here he is on the ball, and he seems to be operating in the left hand side here. Wirtz, Soboslai out to Rio, or excuse me, to Frimpong. Jones goes inside looking for Gravenberg. Ricochets back to Curtis Jones. Goes away from the challenge. Jones. 3-0. Wonderful. Wonderful goal from Curtis Jones. Left foot as well. Delicious. Delicious goal from Curtis. A little bit of 1-2. Skips inside. Gets away from his man. Opens up in front of him. Backs himself. Passes it into the far corner with his left boot. That's just a quality finish from Curtis on his weaker foot. Didn't try to put the laces through it, just guided it with that left foot into the corner, and nothing Sam Johnson could do. So he gets a little ricochet. I thought it was a 1-2. It wasn't. It was a ricochet back to him. Skips across, uses the defender as a guide as well to pass it round the outside of him, not giving Sam Johnson a chance to actually set himself. So he uses the defender as almost like a mannequin and passes the ball around him, left foot into the corner. Great goal from Curtis. And 3-0. Comfortable. We'll take that. Craig, when is Isak coming back? And that guy's a chicken. So I don't think it's going to be too far away from the end of this month's international break. I would expect to have him back in the Liverpool squad, certainly at the start of April. He might get some time with the Swedish national team. I don't know how close he'll be to that, but certainly from our perspective, I think the other side of the March international break would be a good guesstimation. That was quality, that. And then it's a good example to youngsters out there as well, what Curtis Jones did. Didn't have to, even on his weaker foot, didn't have to put the laces through it. Just pass the ball outside of the goal, starting it, curling it back inside, around the defender, keeper no chance. Just a really good finish. We've seen some good goals tonight. Maybe a good thing we lost the last game. Imagine we would have won 10-0 and the Dom hair would have become the good luck hair. Just saying. Oh, I was thinking that earlier on about his hair. I can't lie, I was thinking at least he's gone back to normal hair for this evening. But look, I'm happy. 3-0 win, we'll take that. Much better and more direct, improved second half than the first. And yeah, good. The way Robbo's performed, new deal. I'd love to give Robbo a new deal. There's a couple of things that I think we need to be mindful of. Is one, if Kirkes is going to be the guy moving forward, and of course he is, you do have to look at the wages as well. Like, do you want to pay a backup left back the guts of 200 grand a week? And that's not a question I could answer, because as a fan, of course, I'd want Andy Robertson to stay and have his experience for another year. Canade getting togged out and ready to come on as well. Gomez clears the ball, but straight to a Wolves player. Mo might, as a number 9, might be key to... Excuse me. Mo as a 9 might be key to Mo. Hugo is good wide. Yeah, I wouldn't be against the idea of Mo through the centre, but when we have Ekitike and Isak back available, I mean, they're the centre forward, so... Brian said now we need the Gomez pen. Yes. Surely if we get a penalty now, he's got to give it to Joe. I'd be giving him free kicks and everything at this point. Muldor said, I'm thinking Gakpo is better centrally than out wide or out left. He seems to offer a bit more tactically and lets our playmakers do their thing. He's been okay through the centre. It's not really been a position on the pitch that has had much space today. So whoever was the centre forward, it's been a difficult one to find any little pockets of space. Unlike the likes of, let's say, Ekitike, you haven't really seen him drop deep looking for the ball, Gakpo. He kind of has stayed in that central advanced position. Andy Robertson now, he's shuffled back, goes back to Allison. Have an Irish-speaking commentator in the rugby game. Nice. Embarrassed to say I can't speak Irish fluently. It's a beautiful thing, though, hearing somebody speak Gaelga properly. What team for Galatasaray in the Champions League, Craig, if fit? Off the top of my head, Alisson, Frimpong. No, actually, Alisson, Gomez, Canade, Van Dijk. I'd probably stick with Robertson for the away leg and for the experience. Then in midfield, I'd go Szoboszlai, McAllister, Wirtz. No, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberg. I'd put Wirtz left, Rio right, and Ekitike through the middle. But you can also make an argument maybe putting Wirtz in the advanced midfield role, putting Rio wide left and Frimpong wide right. If I think Frimpong can play the whole game, I'd be starting him in one of the right hand positions, whether it's right back or right wing. Sorry, but I need a Wolves goal for €800. Well, Oscar, at this point, mate, give it another 2 or 3 minutes and I hope you get your goal for your 800 quid. But I don't want too much time on the clock if they are to score, bro. McAllister, he's dispossessed. Oh, that's a bit of a snidey sliding challenge there, referee. From He Chan, was it? Is he not even... Has he given a free for that? He's not even given a fucking free. That's a... I want to see a replay of that challenge because it looks like a shithouse challenge. Oh, it was more the follow through and the knee that actually caught him. You said Rio over Salah is wild. It is, but doing the same things that we've done before, didn't do well for us when we were over in Galatasaray. Although, if I remember correctly, I think Frimpong did start over Salah at right wing in that game. Either way, I want Rio on, I want Ekitike playing, and I want Frimpong getting forward. So whether you play Salah right and Frimpong right back, grand. But I don't want to see the names Gakpo and Salah both on the team sheet for the game against Galatasaray. You do need to strike that balance because it is going to be a difficult place to go. It's going to be loud. Virgil's coming off now to be replaced by Canade for the last 10 to give Virgil a little bit of a breather anyway. Craig, there's a Bulgarian journalist, Bobby Borisov. He's a diehard Arsenal fan. He's been talking shit about you in Liverpool for months and can't stop. Well, here's the thing. He's talking about me, like you've said, non-stop. I don't have a fucking clue who he is. So let him crack on. People are free to talk about me whenever they want. It's a free world. I think you've told me that before, by the way, but I don't really care. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I've never spoken with him. So he can talk shit about me all he wants. He's using my name for one reason and one reason only, and that's to try and get some relevancy. I don't punch down. So, yeah, leave him to it. I hope we manage to keep Abe. I dream of him and Rio playing wide with Hugo Isak in the middle if we reach their potential. Stay safe, my man. Appreciate you. Joshua Abe is a very interesting one for this summer. Liverpool hope to get him to sign a scholarship contract. And I hope he does stay because he's another huge talent. He's started training with the senior team already on occasion, I believe. And doing great things with the 18s. Right, so I missed that. Who did Neone come on for, by the way? Apologies. Neone and Canade on, but I didn't see who... It was Maka, was it? I'm looking around. It looks like it was Maka. Yeah, it was Maka. Thank you. Are Gakpo and Salah at the club next season? I think maybe Cody is. Salah, I'm not so sure. I think, try to think about it this way. As much as, let's say, our own wants are maybe, Gravenberch, or excuse me, McAllister go, or not McAllister, I'll try that again, Stevie boy. Maybe our own thoughts are that, yes, Gakpo moves on. But I try to think about it pragmatically. If we got rid of Salah and Gakpo, right, just say we did, I think that actually puts us in a bit of a precarious position because then we have young wingers in Rio. Let's say we brought in Yan Diamonde, another young winger, and you don't really have much experience then in wide areas. So I think one of Salah and Gakpo should probably stay for at least one more season. I do think we need a senior wide player as well as these exciting young players. So, yeah, I don't want us to get into the realms of wholesale changes again that we're struggling to connect and struggling to build those relationships. I'd rather see it staggered over the course of 2 seasons. But are they at the club? I think one of them will be, at least. You remind me of John Joe Shelby, but bigger. But because I'm bald. Genius stuff altogether, mate. John Joe Shelby actually had alopecia, if I'm not mistaken. I have eyebrows. I don't think he had any. I have one huge one. But yeah, I mean, I'm bald. Well, I'm not bald, but I shave my head. But okay, cool. I remind you of that. Right said Fred would also work. A pound length Dara O'Brien is another one. The White Malteser. Yeah, no problem. I wish I had John Joe Shelby's footballing ability, though, to be fair. I don't. It's so lovely having so many compliments and lovely words said towards me tonight. It's beautiful. It's really moved me. Grafenberg. Anybody else want to have a pop? By the way, well, we're having a go with Craig this evening. 5 minutes to go on this one. The Reds comfortable 3-0 ahead. No extra time required. Don't forget we'll have our match reaction coming up after the game. Wirtz now. He goes one way, then the other. Ball goes behind, though, for a goal kick. Don't forget to enter our giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. We're giving away this signed and framed Kenny Dalglish shirt completely free. Scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in the description. Morrison, young Kieran Morrison coming on now for a few minutes to replace Cody Gakpo. Good to see him get an opportunity. Been tearing it up for the underage teams this year. Equal the record, I believe, of goals scored in a season. Here he comes. Cody Gakpo off. Young Kieran Morrison on. I think you look more like Gru. Yes. That's my son called me Gru when we were at Universal Studios before. Do you know who I think I look like? Me. Again, Wolves try to go direct and Dom just sees it out over the side. So 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Liverpool looking like we've booked their place in the quarterfinals. Excuse me. Would you accept slot lookalike? No, I don't have the tan. I haven't had the opportunity to work on my tan as much as Arna. Now I am going to Lanzarote later on this month, so maybe I'll come back with that level of tan. It's been funny. Loads of people over the years tagged Dara O'Brien when I've gone on a rant and go, "Oh, Dara O'Brien's gotten angry." And then there was one time he replied saying, "Oh, this fucking guy again." I love Dara O'Brien though. I really do. I think he's phenomenal. And I said this before. He grew up about 5 miles up the road from me in Bray. I'm from Shankill, South Dublin, so maybe there's a postman there with some questions to answer. But yeah, this is just a bit of fun. I can take the piss out of myself, so I've no problem with it. You look like that fella off TikTok that shouts at his TV, said Connor. Hang on a minute. There's only one angry man on Anfield Agenda, Crosby, these days, and it's been you, Mr. Table Smacker. Stop bad-mouthing Mohamed Salah and keep going with Gakpo. I don't bad-mouth Mohamed Salah ever. I give a judgment on his performances, and when he doesn't play well, I say it. When he plays well, I say it. So, yeah, I absolutely don't badmouth him. I just criticise him the same as I would any other player when they don't play well. Szoboszlai. Oh, Morrison slices across that one. Ball drops to him left side of the penalty area. He cuts across the front of the ball and it goes high and wide. Oof. Is the news about Klopp to Atleti real? His agent has come out and rubbished it. Oh, here we go. Frimpong. Oh, unlucky. So just looked up. Frimpong was on the gallop into the penalty area. He tries across. It's blocked. Goes behind the Liverpool corner. His agent, Mark Kosicka, has come out and said it's rubbish. So I think it was from El Chingarito, if my memory's right, that link. If he ever did go to Spain, though, Atleti, I've always said it, Atleti is the club that I could see him doing something at. I wouldn't imagine there'd be too much added on time in this one, folks. Oh, almost. Another ball played across, and Canade, yeah, he probably can't believe he didn't get on the end of that one. Grafenberg clips it across. So yeah, how did he not score? He kind of sliced off Canade's shin, and then hits the Wolves player and goes behind him. But yeah, that should have been 4. Right, we've got the 90 up. There's 4 minutes of stoppage time added on by the referee. 4 minutes. BTC63 Red, I owe you an apology, mate. I clicked on the wrong button and had initially banned you and have unbanned you. That's my bad, dude. I owe you an apology. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong account. So you've been unbanned, mate. Sorry, that personally, that's on me, mate. Sorry about that. Oh, Chan in behind now. Scored 3-1. 3-1. It's a ball straight through the middle and one ball over the top. We were carved open. Allison comes out and Chan slips it past them. Soboslai out muscled. Let's have a look. So Sam Johnson gets the ball, goes long with it. He's definitely onside. He's inside his own half. Soboslai misses the ball. He tries to bring it down. I don't know what he's doing. He tries to bring it down out of the air when he should have just put any connection on it and the ball would have gone off to either side. But he pulls out of trying to take it down out of the air, and once he's done that, he's in trouble. Chan gets in behind him and then slips it in past Allison. That's it's not great from Dom. Should have easily dealt with that one. Rio has to start going forward, said Henry. I agree, Henry, my man. I agree. Well in on the 800 quid, by the way, to our friend a moment ago. So there you go, my man. 800 blips for you. Congratulations. Enjoy it. Just like I said as well, let the game go a little bit later and yeah. And now you've got your goal, Oscar, and we don't have to sweat about it. So win-win all around, bro. I'll try not to be happy about that, go Reds. Hey, man, you enjoy your few bob. Well in, Oscar. Enjoy it, bro. Nice weekend ahead of you now. Few quid in the back pocket. I do love hearing good news stories like that about somebody winning a few quid. Frimpong. Back to Wirtz. Liverpool have scored, but I do think it's offside. Flag's gone up, but I do think he was off. We'll see a replay of it, but it looked off. Let's have a look. So Wirtz gets the ball. Yeah, it's clearly offside. Jones is a good 2 yards offside. Travelling Cop happy tonight, as they should be. Nice little FA Cup win tucked in the back pocket for the trip home. Another 90-plus minute goal conceded. Well, at least this one isn't going to result in a loss or anything for us. I don't know what is going on here. Referee was talking to the Wolves player. I have no idea what was going on. Anyway, we're about to get back underway with the indirect free kick. Right, Morrison now. He's scythed down by Gomez. I'll be a free kick to Liverpool right at the end. I mean, it's not a great challenge from João Gomez. Right, let's see if we can do that. And this should be the last kick of the game. Don't forget as well, ladies and gents, our match reaction coming up straight after the game. And if you want to submit your player ratings, make sure you sign up for the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. Irish boy, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. It was Grafenberg who scored the offside goal. Snowbead, mate. Right, let's see. Oh, Dom's leaving this one to Wirtz. So it's Florian Wirtz going to be hitting this one. Dom's backed away from it. He's gone into the wall. Let's see if Wirtz can pull a moment of magic out here. No. Ball goes high and wide and the ref blows it up. It finishes at Molineux. Wolves 1, Liverpool 3. Arne Slot's men booked their place in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. That draw will be taking place on Monday. So yes, that brings to an end that one, ladies and gents. As I said, don't forget to enter a giveaway. We're giving away that Kenny Dalglish shirt. And you can also join the WhatsApp by scanning that QR code on the screen, where you will see the form for the player ratings in there at the minute. So make sure you come across and check it out. Thank you so much to everyone that did join us. If you haven't subscribed, folks, before you head off, do hit that subscribe button. Our match reaction is coming up in 60 seconds' time. We're going to try to figure out, can we actually do this? Can we go all the way and get a bit of silverware? We'll catch up with you in 60 seconds. Thank you so much.